Good morning, afternoon, and evening all, and welcome to In the VC, the pre-race show that discusses all the news and events occurring within the virtual paddock. And welcome back from the mid-season break here at Fuji in Japan for Round 5 of the Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship. My name is Kendrick Garlic, fresh back from Nepal, and joining me once again is Kendrick. And Kendrick, it's nice to actually be back in the VC here.
Glad to have you back. The main voice of Artito is indeed back. It's nice, very nice to hear your voice again. And apart from my atrocious intro from the last race, I think I did a very good job.
Well, Flying Sand did kind of just abandon you entirely, to be fair, so you were on your own. But yeah, you do hold the desk for me pretty well.
It's not a very comfortable place actually. A whole
Now, of course.
That's a whole
Oh, go
great
ahead.
respect for you.
Thank you. Now, of course, well, as in Nepal, I missed quite a lot in Spa. There was a bit of a chaotic two races that we had, and I think one of the biggest things that sort of came out of that was in the first race, I believe, in what has now been dubbed the Yakitori Civil War. Of course, turn one, lap one, I believe, race one. Felipe Sato ended up colliding with Ballista and immediately plummeting his fellow countrymen's chances of challenging the championship lead from Alessio much harder now.
Yes, that is true. That's truly heartbreaking. It's actually quite. How would I say this? Because in Formula One as well, the first signs of fractures in the relationship between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg was in Spa as well
Mm,
in 2014, if you fondly remember.
yes, I do
So yeah,
actually.
I think it's very what do we call this? I do not have the right words for it, but yeah, it reminds me of that moment indeed.
Yeah. Well, as a result of that incident between those two drivers, the gap has now increased to 39 points between Alessio Seri and Ballista for P1 and P2 respectively. Alessio on 150 points. Essentially, I think he's won every single race that he has entered this season. And Ballista, while he was able to somewhat keep on the coattails of Alessio, that 39-point difference is now going to be very painful for the Japanese Drivers' Championship Challenge as we
Very.
get towards the back end of this season. In third place, we have Sato on 102 points, and it's actually quite interesting enough between those two drivers, and that Sato is only a 9-point difference away from his teammate to be able to challenge for second place.
Yeah, that it is surely not convenient for Ballista to have fights with the other drivers, especially when he's chasing after his championship rival, which is currently on his way to dominate the championship standing already.
Hmm. Following down the order, we have Miko in fourth place, which is actually a really good showing from the Filipino driver. His consistency and honestly just being able to show up for most races within the points has solidified a pretty decent top 5 position for him. In fifth place, we have G, who's done similar results. In fact, G scored a podium in race 1 at Spa last round, so he's done very well for himself. As we go down towards the order, though, you start to see some of the I'd say sorry tales from the rest of the drivers. P6 we have Scoob, who we know has had pretty unfortunate luck, let's say, at the early rounds this season. He was able to turn it around somewhat last round. Thankfully for the Indonesian driver, they'll see him in the sixth place and 46 points. But as did unfortunately come at the cost of his teammate Rohei, who's now in 10th place on a measly 29 points, which is surprising considering he was able to score a P2 in the first race all the way back in Hockenheim. And it's interesting to see that the two drivers for Michigan Red Bull Racing are still having a tour de fair to be able to get both cars in the points for at least just the one race.
Yes, one thing's for sure that being consistent in joining the league is it goes to show that being present in the league race is very much an advantage for points if you can consistently finish on the top 10 even if you're not winning on podiums. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. And with those two drivers seeming not quite able to both finish well, one driver almost having to balance the karma of the universe, having to do poorly for the other driver to score decent points. It's made the Constructors' Championship quite an interesting battle. In first place, we also obviously have Yakutori Racing, with the two drivers in second and third, absolutely dominating the Constructors' Championship. And I think I'd have to do the calculation on that, but I'm pretty sure they mathematically won the Constructors' Championship already.
Have
If they're
they?
not so, then at least by the end of this round. Well, they are on 213 points, with Kamekame Racing on 78. So there's a bit of a chasm between first and second there. But the battle for second is still certainly very much alive, with Kamekame, as I said beforehand, on 78 points, consisting of Turboleb and Raven. But in third with Michigang on only 75 points, so there's only a 3-point difference between those two teams. And I believe Raven is not going to be able to race today. Of course, with being the only American driver, there is a Thanksgiving happening over in the US of A. And as a result, she's preoccupied with familiars, enjoying the celebrations, I'm sure. So that's just left the sole Kamekame driver Turbolobe to fly the flag for the team. But we're unsure as to whether Rohei will be racing today, unfortunately. For those within the server, know Rohei is taking a little bit of a sabbatical from his duties at Artito and sim racing generally, by the looks of it. In the attendance, he said he may attend the race, but he's unsure if he will. Hopefully, we'll be able to see him, because it would be nice to see the Iron Will Jamaican taking his spot on the grid for round 5 here at Fuji. But we do know Scoob is going to be racing at the very least, so it'll be interesting to see how the Constructors' Championship shapes up after this round. And we could very well see Mystery Gang taking second place for the first time this season, away from Kamekame.
Not gonna lie, for a Raven, I would gladly trade my sim racing for a piece of sliced turkey. You know,
Turkey is actually pretty good, I'll be honest.
pretty
Always default
nice.
towards turkey,
Well,
like during Christmas.
well, to be fair, I haven't ate a lot of turkey in my time.
Yeah,
It's not
that's fair.
really it's not really a thing here.
That's a bit of a shame. It's really tasty though, honestly.
We have lechon, if you're familiar with it.
No, I've never heard of that actually.
It's literally a pig on a skewer, roasted over a slow fire.
Huh. So it's a spit roast.
Spit roast, but it's a whole pig.
Gosh. How many people does that feed? Like 4, 5, 6?
I guess the whole barangay.
Gosh. But back to the the point of the show itself. Something I did actually notice, which was quite eventful for race 2, was I think Felix is what can be described effectively as an Icarus moment. He flew too close to the sun and ended up going in P2 at one point in race 2 at Spa, but ended up having a temporary loss of grip and spinning out. Not entirely sure where he finished from memory. Let me double check. P11, according to the official results. So it's a bit disappointing, honestly, from the Singaporean driver. And I remember actually watching the VOD one in Sydney on the way back to where I live after I got off the plane. And he was doing so well for himself, really.
Yeah, I have to find a dictionary to find the word Icarus because I don't really know what that means. But yes, I do agree that it is unfortunate for Felix as well. The sole Singaporean driver has his fair share of chances during that time, but unfortunately, Lady Luck wasn't on his side.
No, he did. I think he did scoring points in the first race. He finished P9, so it did take something away from that round at the very least. But certainly, it's a bit of what could have been for the Singaporean driver, unfortunately.
One thing to point out as well is the sheer commitment of Ballista, even though from the from the many mishaps that happened during the first parts of the races, he's really committed to gain position and score more points.
Mm. And I think that's kind of what's still mathematically keeping within the championship, because I genuinely do think a lesser driver would have chucked in the towel more times than Ballista has, with just the continuing strings of bad luck that the Japanese driver has had to go with. Unfortunately, sometimes getting caught out in lap one accidents. In one instance, obviously at the hands of his own teammate, but also having to contend with things like lap traffic, or in race twos not being able to get through the field cleanly or in one piece, or often facing the wrong way coming out of the first lap. But it's been incredible to see like the will that Ballista has been able to carry through each round, despite the fact that he's been on the back foot to such an extent against Alessio, but yet still race after race, round after round, still trying to claw any points he can get.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, the sheer determination that he has is clearly helping him to still
Yeah.
claw back toward fighting.
Mm. Also, something I think should be noted: Josh Mitchell scored his first points this season in race 2 of round 4. He finished P10 in that race at Spa, and that has now created 20 point scorers this season.
Sorry, excuse me, what?
So, Josh Mitchell, he was able to score his first points last round.
Did he? I didn't know this.
Yeah. I think he finished P10 in race 2. I have to double check that quickly.
Very nice.
Give me a
I
moment.
guess 1 point for him. A point is
Yeah.
a point, nonetheless.
A point is a point is a point. So that's left 20 point scorers this season for the league. So I think out of the 22 starters that we've had this season, that means we've got 20 point scorers. I have to double check that. Give me a second. Yeah, so 22. So the only two drivers that haven't scored points this season is Galaxy, who I think entered one race. I want to say round 2, but I'm not sure. And TJ Dragon, who's had a bit of a torrid affair in rounds 1 and 2 from memory. And so he has been unable to score points, unfortunately. And I don't think he's raced recently. I want to say I don't.
Yeah.
No, so he hasn't been able to showcase any of the pace that we know he does have. He has the capacity to score points on a good day,
Yes, he does.
but he just hasn't been able to attend the races, which is unfortunate, really.
Yes, that is quite unfortunately. Quite unfortunate. What the hell? Sorry. God, can't believe only 1 week break would destroy my entire vocabulary.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but well, with due time, you'll be all good again.
I wish I was an Aussie instead.
I can tell you won't want to be living in Australia at the moment. It is really warm. It is incredibly humid.
How
where I
warm
live.
is it today in your side?
Let's have a look, actually. I'm not entirely sure.
Can you do it
Let's
in
have to
Roman
open up.
Catholic?
29 apparently, but I'd be willing to
29?
bet it's more.
You serious? That's hot for you?
It's very humid, and there's just no wind at
Oh,
all.
come on. It's 32 here. And I'm on a
Bruh.
70 and my PC is blowing out 79 degrees, so yeah. I'm in an oven if I were you. I clearly have the
Gosh, I-
29 instead of a 32.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be melting at this rate.
Can't take the heat?
Apparently not.
That's alright.
Now I have run out of topics because we went through everything that I had written down at quite a fast pace, unfortunately. But I guess we can do predictions for today. Now, as I said beforehand, there's a couple drivers that are unfortunately not going to be racing. One of those, as I said beforehand, is Raven, she's firmly stated that she's not going to be able to race. I believe neither of the Brabham boys are going to be racing either today, as they have commitments, unfortunately.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, elsewhere. And Raj and Pipewell, as well as Rai, aren't going to be racing, so a lot of absentees today, unfortunately.
Small grid today, perhaps.
Yeah, probably going to be a smaller grid. It looks as though there's going to be a couple drivers going to be able to race at the very least. By the looks of it, both Soteria Racing drivers, so Lake Bun and Josh Mitchell, will be on the grid for this round. So that's at least they're going to be able to fly the flag for their team. And honestly, considering the fact that Brabham boys aren't going to be able to make any challenge against the two Soteria cars, they might be able to score pretty decent points. and aid in their both individual and constructors championships. It looks as though Felix may be able to attend. I was talking to him yesterday, and he said hopefully be able to get back to his home in time to be able to race. Doesn't seem as though he's joined the server quite yet, but he is known to leave it to at least last about 30 to 20 minutes of practice session before getting on the server. So we will have to wait and see on that. As I said before, Andrew Hayes taking a sabbatical, so it's a coin flip as to whether he's going to join us this week or not. But if he doesn't, that's perfectly okay. We do wish him the most relaxing of breaks. And Zeth, I don't believe is going to be able to join us either because he has other commitments, which he's unsure if they're going to be solidified or not. So we may see him, but if we do see him today, it may only be for the first race, unfortunately.
Speaking of Zeth, we do have a remembrance of him from Fuji after the testing of the virtual safety car, which didn't really
Yes,
work
I
out.
remember that. Yeah, I actually remember that. But I think it was the difference in pings was ended up being the blame of it because, of course, we have drivers from quite literally all across the world. Like we have drivers from the US to the Philippines to Italy, to Australia to Indonesia to Singapore, South Africa, Japan, Norway. Like we have a lot of drivers across the world. But as a result of that, there's going to be stark ping differences, and when we need everyone to be going at the same point, there's going to be delays between our server clients as well as the I think it was, I forget the name of it, but the client that we were using for the VSC as well. There's going to be significant delays between all the drivers, and as a result, there's of course going to be some confusion.
Yeah,
So of course we ended up electing not to use the VSC during the season, but for the most part it seems to have worked pretty well.
yes, it's maybe a glimpse of what to come in the near future, but yeah, I guess technology isn't quite there yet, but we're lucky to have it right now.
Yes. Um, we've got a couple more minutes in the broadcast, I think, by the looks of it, roughly about 6 or so.
Yes, we have yeah, about 6 minutes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Alright, so I think it'd be worth doing prediction, and I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say Miko's gonna make a surprise podium.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. I am quite biased with my fellow countrymen because I'm all out showing my Pinoy pride out there.
Mm.
So yeah, I believe Miko. I would go to say as high as second.
Second. That's brave,
Yes.
actually. Because, of course, this is the home race for Ballista, and it seems that Ballista's confirmed he will be racing today. Unsure if his teammate will. He's still a little tentative as to whether he will be racing or not. So we will have at least one Japanese driver on the grid today, but it'll be interesting to see if how Ballista performs at his home race against Alessio.
That is quite true. We've seen the home court advantage from Alessio Siri in Imola. How about
Mm.
Ballista's home circuit in Fuji?
Yes, we do know that Ballista actually has very good pace around Fuji, whether that's because he enjoys the track itself or he gets a 2/10 boost just because it's his home race. But if you recall the preseason test race that we had in Fuji all the way before the championship officially started, he was able to side through the field quite spectacularly, actually. And I suspect we might be able to see something similar today, depending on the side of the grid, obviously. But I don't think Alessio has raced at Fuji before. If he has, it's not something that we're quite aware of. So it'll be interesting to see how the Italian responds to the Japanese driver's challenge and whether the home court advantage is going to allow Ballista to start to claw back some of the points difference between him and the Italian driver.
That is true. Hopefully it does. And yeah, I believe being on your home track gives you an edge towards your
Mm.
competition. No,
Yep.
because yeah, knowing the track at the back of your hand is clearly a big advantage already.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with a couple minutes left in the broadcast by the looks of it, Anything else you want to add, Kendrick? Because I can't really think of much. I guess predictions for who's going to win the race, really. But I reckon you kind of just like pull a coin out and just like, all right, heads is Alessio, tails is Ballista.
Either of the two. I don't want I don't want to jinx it for the both of them, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. Is that like while Alessio has obviously the pace, the break will be interesting to see how it's going to affect the drivers. Because whether they've been practicing for this track specifically, or they've been practicing for other tracks down the line, or they've taken the opportunity to step away from the sim rigs a bit and just have a bit of a break from the preparation of the setup, landing the tracks, trying to eke out as much time as possible, and how that's going to affect the two drivers' performances. Or I guess I should say three drivers, depending on if Sado um, races this round or not, because he is certainly within the shout of getting some championship points over either Ballista or Alessio.
Well, that's a question
Um,
I want to share with you is what kind of a driver are you during the breaks? Are you one of those people who grinds out more the pace and practices a lot, spends a lot of his time on the sim rigs and stuff?
mm,
Or are you the type of person who steps away, relax, and come back motivated and refreshed once you get back from the league racing?
I think I typically just like I will still continue to practice the track coming up. Um, but the weekend break that we would typically have, where we would normally have a race on, I just wouldn't touch the rig at all. I just kind of treat that as like, okay, I don't have anything this week. I'm just gonna like chill, and then start to progressively get ready for the next um, round as the setup's been developed. I've learned the track a fair bit, and now I can start to like tweak setup changes. I can start to push the car a bit more, and be able to sort of ease my way into the round, so that coming out of the break, sorry, you then are at the best pace that you can possibly be without overexerting yourself.
Well, for me, during a long weekend, especially when we have a break, I'm typically one of those drivers who steps away, relax, and clear my mind out of it. So once I come back, I come back refreshed, and I try to relearn as much as everything as I can. Probably do things a lot better with a newfound technique that I have learned from someone else or from watching someone else's lap.
Very good, honestly, yeah. And so I think with that, we have less than a minute left in the broadcast. I think it'll be a good time to go to break, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. Clearly. Yeah, we do have 40 seconds left. Exactly. But yeah, I guess that's that for in the VC for the pre race.
Yep. And when we return, we'll be going to our pre-race broadcast, so don't go away, we'll be right back. There's simply nothing like it. That heart in your mouth, adrenaline through your veins type feeling. The most dramatic of highs, and the most crushing of lows. All to the choir of man and machine pushed to its limit. This is action. This is emotion. This is Artito Racing Formula 3. And 6 red lights, and away we go! You can see a big crash going up. The first time he'll go for a move on the inside, and the Ballista has the late braking, but he won't have the inside line capacity to Sato. What a great move! He'll go towards the inside as well.
Oh, Rory!
The secret assassin, the Iron Will Jamaican.
Last move.
So he's gonna go. Miko sits right, Raj goes left.
Miko goes defensive.
Last late breakers here, and Raj is able to make it on the second to last corner. He makes it stick.
Alright, felicitations and welcome to all. Now that the Formula 1 season has already concluded, and a well-earned mid-season break for all the drivers, we return to the Japanese Alps under the shadows of the tallest mountains in Japan for round 5 of the Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship at the Fuji Speedway. I'm Ken Jake, and returning to the commentary box, no other than the voice of Artito himself from his time in Nepal, the main commentator of Artito Racing, Kindred Garlic. And Kindred, this is a very special race for a sizable amount of the grid. What do you think?
It is a very special race for a fair amount of the grid, and thank you for the very grandiose entrance and title of the main commentator. I still hold the firm belief that we're of equal status, because you do a lot of the technical stuff of which I have no understanding of. I merely just speak into a microphone. But as Kendrick, you were alluding to, this is a very important race for a significant amount of the field. Mostly for the Japanese drivers. Of course, we have, I believe, 5 Japanese drivers on the grid that are registered for this season. 2 of which, Felipe Sada and Ballista, have both joined the server and will be racing today, flying the flag not only for their own country, but for Yakutori Racing as well, with that being the only one of 2, Japanese constructors for this championship. Now, we do also have the likes of Rai, Pipeall, and Senja. Senja, of course, being Spanish-Japanese ethnicity. But I don't believe those drivers are going to be racing today, so it's just going to be the 2 Japanese drivers in Felipe Sato and Ballista, who are both going to be wanting to make their presence known at the home race, and this race will occur within the hour. Currently, we have just under 24 minutes of practice left, which will then lead into a 15-minute qualifying session that will then set the grid for 2 of the first 15-lap races around this circuit. The second race will, of course, be a full reverse grid, providing a trial of racecraft for our fastest drivers. Drivers will have access to 3 compounds this round, the soft, medium, and hard, with drivers favouring more towards the hard in practice, but it appears that the mediums are faster, at the very least at overall 1-lap pace. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers adapt for the difference in tyre compound speed and durability. Drivers will also need to stop at some point for fuel, making strategy an important part in the outcome of today's proceedings. So, with the return of Artito Racing Formula 3 Championship, get comfy and get ready for round 5 here at the Fuji International Speedway for the Japanese Grand Prix.
It's simply marvelous. I cannot even do that on my time when I was doing the main commentary. How do you always do it? Oh my god. Clearly you are the voice of Artito. Yeah, you deserve all the praises, man. It's a really tough job that you're doing.
You flatter me too much, dude.
Well, I could give you a tickle every once in a while, but yeah. Welcome back. How was your time in Nepal?
Really fun, actually. Incredible. Took a lot of photos, obviously.
Care to share some of that?
Yeah, I could actually, if I could find a couple. There was one photo which is a little different, but it's probably one of my favorite ones out of it all, which was I went on a hike just outside of Kathmandu. I think it was about like a 1-hour bus trip outside of Kathmandu, and then it was a 2-hour hike. And from one of the hills that we climbed up, you were able to see the Himalayas. Unfortunately, the day we went up there, it was very cloudy, but I was just able to see the peak of Mount Everest.
Wow. I never
Yeah.
knew you were an Everlast hat. Yeah.
But you never know. Yeah.
Yep. I never knew you were a baseball cap, so I guess
Yes, I am. Makes my commentary ability all the more wondrous.
exactly. Yeah. You might be able to commentate for boxing as well, I guess.
But yeah, good to be back here. In the
Great to have you
commentary
back.
box. Yeah, very good. Good to see all the drivers still plucking away at the championship. And interestingly enough, don't quite have the official. There we go. Interesting enough, Scoob is currently leading the times in practice ahead of Alessio by a good half a second.
Yeah. Quite unusual, but I guess we can't doubt that Scoob does clearly have the pace to be competitive out there.
Yep, absolutely. And we've known Scoob has had the one lap pace in him for quite a while now, but of course he has not been able to quite convert it to race victories. Maybe today the curse can be broken for the Indonesian driver, and if possible, could get his first win here in this championship.
Now I do remember fondly from this race track that it does have a broken slipstream, if I remember quite nicely, from the time that they were racing back then.
True. Well, I believe that was distinctly to the Porsche cars that we were racing. I believe it was the 992 GT3 cars. But I believe with the F3s here combined with the DRS, the slipstream is a little better because, of course, these cars are so very aero intensive. And of course, these cars are made by RSS, which is a very quality Assetto Corsa and actually other simulator mod creators. So I doubt the issue is going to be falling on these F3 cars today. But if it is, it's going to be much more limited.
Speaking of RSS, what do you think about the mod pack that they released? That was like quite nice. 90s
Yeah,
GT1
it
cars.
looks quite exciting. Yeah,
I know, right?
I've recently was able to get a TH8A for my
Ooh.
simulator, so I'm able to finally like do full manual cars. I've just been doing like only manual cars like the last month or so. I haven't touched the sequential yet, but always pining for more cars that are much more like manually intensive, just because of course you have these cars which are sequential and you have the unique driving experience of racing, but I don't think any quite compares to having the full control of the car, having to use the clutch, heel and toe, and the like. It's just something else entirely.
I'll tell you something. Racing for about an hour with a full manual car is not gonna be fun, as Lake Bun hits the wall hard and tumbles. Wow.
Very dramatic hit there from the Indonesian driver. He's currently sitting in P4. It's actually pretty good for himself, all things
I don't
considered.
know if you see it, but I love the detail of the... Is it the grass or the leaves falling as well?
I didn't quite catch that now, unfortunately.
That's quite nice. Yeah. So we did upgrade our camera systems in the server itself. So I am running currently the newest version of Pure, as well as the PP filter using Sky. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the visuals. It does look quite nice and realistic, if I'm not mistaken. Wow.
Very clean. Yeah, it's very good.
It's a helicopter right there.
Yeah, it's too.
So yeah,
Best sign is the moment.
it's an old game, but it's very beautiful. So yeah, I love the community is doing all the works for the developers. So yeah, I hope when the Assetto Corsa 2 comes out, hopefully it's so moddable like this. So
I'd be
beautiful.
very surprised if Kunos doesn't allow for moddability, because I think it's pretty clear to state, and almost a universal thing, that the reason why Assetto Corsa has remained such a prevalent sim, and some could argue is the best sim on the market, even challenging the likes of iRacing, has been because of the moddability of the game.
It's amazing. For me, it is quite the simulator. For me, it's the best out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's my opinion, so yeah. Everybody has their own opinion, but for me, Assetto Corsa is the best.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. While I only have the experience of Assetto Corsa, in my time using race sims. From what I've seen, what I've read, Assetto Corsa, it benefits a lot from its again, not quite forgiving physics model. That wouldn't be the correct terminology, but it's much more realistic in terms of how drivers use slip angle and able to slide the car
That
into
is
a
true.
corner, in comparison to the likes of iRacing, which has gotten a lot of criticism for its inability to be able to slide the car at all, to be able to gain time.
I love the flavor of the FFP as well compared to ACC. I've driven real cars, and to me, the force feedback of Assetto Corsa is the most realistic one so far that I've used.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see such a old game that doesn't get as much continual support from Kunas as compared to its competitors like Assetto Corsa Competizione or iRacing as well. Was still able to get consistent updates, but yet it's still able to hold its own very well, even with just the base game itself and the physics model.
Exactly. Yeah, so there you go. Very old game, very beautiful game. Up till now, the standards are quite high.
But at the moment, we see Sada, who's trying to dial in the Yakitori car for its home Grand Prix here at Fuji International Speedway. Of course, if you might be able to see coming out of the final corner, the silhouette of Mount Fuji itself modeled into the game, which is quite a nice detail, I have to say, from the creators of this mod. But you can just see in the background there the very jagged and hilly landscape. And yep, there it is. There's Mount Fuji.
Beautiful track.
Yeah.
Is that track shimmering? What is this?
I think
Wipeout?
so, yes.
Boost pads, I guess.
Those light effects going a little bit. How you going?
And the clouds are back. Oh my god, now they're implementing clouds
Yes.
on our server.
Very nice.
And a blimp. A Fujifilm blimp.
Fujifilm.
Very nice details from the modders.
Yeah, it's a very nice mod, I have to say. And Fuji, even in offline players, track will often default to just mess around with some cars. And one of the distinct aspects of the circuit, of course, as Sato is able to display at the moment, is this huge straight. Nearly 1.5 kilometers in length, one of the longest straights in the world, rivaling the likes of the Circuit de la South back straights. And of course, being a very distinct feature of this circuit, but the straight is the only aspect of this circuit, with a lot of the fast flowing corners that comprise this, I want to say, 16 corner circuit. I have to double check that.
I'm not gonna lie, Japan has one of the most beautiful circuits in the world.
Yeah, it really has a lot of good circuits. So like you have Suzuka, you have Fuji.
Oh, don't forget about the small ones like Tsukuba.
Tsukuba as well, yeah, absolutely.
And Autodrome, what to call it again? I forgot the name. It's an old circuit, not quite used nowadays. Autopolis, there we go.
Yeah, and there's even the likes of the smaller, like, I guess local circuits, probably the best way to describe it. I think Gunma, is it from memory?
Yes, Gunma Cycling Center. It's also one of
Yep.
the best tracks out there. Also known for the I don't know, is it the television series in Japan?
Yeah, there was a television series there with the Drift King himself that was involved, and they just race cars around the Toge like circuit that was there.
I mean, even their highways are iconic from the manga series, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who could forget about Shitoko? I love running Shitoko at nights.
Shotoko servers are obviously being very popular inside of Corsa at the moment.
Very, very.
But we're just under 13 minutes, of patches remaining, and it's the series still not able to quite grab the time to the Indonesian driver.
I mean, there's quite a lot of banter going on from both of us. I do love the conversations like this. Very light-hearted, very fun.
Yeah, it's always very good to have these conversations before the during the practice sessions before qualifying.
And now we turn to you over that. God, it's so nice having you back. I can't really. I don't believe I can make the overall commentation of the race. I believe I can just be the hype man for the crashes, but apart from that, that's pretty much the rest is up to you, really.
big shouldering responsibility.
Yeah, very much.
At the moment, we're just under 12 minutes of practice remaining. It seems that we have at least 8 drivers today, which is actually pretty good considering the amount of absentees that we have at least declared. We may get a couple more depending on what's happening. I have been informed that Zeth is not going to be racing period today, which is a bit of a shame. And I haven't heard anything from his teammate Gordon either. It seems that Shushu Racing aren't going to be able to make any claim here in round 5. We'll be able to see them in the future of round 6. But Sato posts the 4th fastest time there of a 1 minute 29.622, 1.2 seconds behind Scoop there, and it seems that that was either a trial for a setup change or a practice for a flying lap. But if that is the genuine pace from the Japanese drivers today, then it looks as though Lake Fun's going to be able to make a pretty decent challenge, as is Tobe. Tobe currently 1.8 seconds off the fastest lap of Scoop.
Also a Japanese citizen, mind you.
Yeah, he is actually a Japanese citizen. I forgot to mention that actually. So yeah, we have the ethnically Japanese drivers as well as the Japanese citizen. So quite a lot of Japanese relation around here today.
Well, someday it will be me next. Someday, hopefully. I do love Japan, apart from the earthquakes and the tsunamis. I do love the country, I do love the people, I do love everything. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful country, and I haven't visited myself personally, but would like to visit it at some point in the future.
Oh, especially Gunma, Kyoto, Tokyo,
Yeah.
Shibuya, Roppongi, and stuff like that. Oh my god, so much to mention.
Absolutely.
Hokkaido
A lot
as
of
well.
And with 10 minutes remaining in practice, it appears there should probably be a race break at some point, but I think
guess
the
it's
race
gonna
director is absent.
I guess it's gonna be your responsibility now.
Yep, that's fine. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Alright.
Alright, let's head on over to the driver's lobby. Hello guys, you are now live and on air.
Test. There we go. Good day, everyone. I think most people are joining pretty soon.
Hello Tobel, how was the weekend?
It was good, thanks. How about you?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm glad
Oh
that
my
Kindred
goodness,
is
man.
back.
Oh, that was. I had to rush back home. Bloody hell.
I was
Oh.
just about to start.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, if I wasn't here for the next few minutes, yeah, fair enough. Alright, quick attendance check. We don't have much time to walk around today, so.
Everyone's here. Like, who's ever in the server is here, so.
Okay. I'm just checking the attendance really quick, because. Hashtag rest in peace, Rohe. It was nice knowing you. He's not here.
I don't know where he is, unfortunately.
Nah, he's apparently taking time off. Into, you know.
He's probably
Make some
playing
more
for the
catches.
World Cup.
Yeah,
I wouldn't blame him.
probably. I mean, Jamaica. Why Japan?
It's Japan, he's
I don't
Japanese,
know.
he must be playing for Japan.
Yeah, but it's all. I don't see any black people in the team. No, that's not meant to be racist.
He doesn't observe. He is Jamaican.
G's not here. In the thing, so. Is he? No, he's not.
No, he's on the server.
Neither of the brown boys are here.
No, I think
Yeah,
they're
They
both.
confirm, yeah. They did confirm.
Garlic, can you tag G to join? Because I mean, we don't have much to cover today. I just want to cover a few points which are a bit important. Can you just tag him, please? See, I have an assistant now. It's nice. Yeah. Miko's here, Siri's here, Kenjak is here. Some new guy who's selected yes, he's here. But listen, Sato, yeah, good stuff. Alright. And Josh Mitchell's here. Oh god, here we go.
Hey, what the fuck?
Alright, we'll wait for G. We'll wait for G. Oh, you
no.
didn't tag him? Okay. We
Let's
just.
do it,
I-
bro.
I DM'd him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's what he's racing today.
Well-
He's idle by the looks of it, so I reckon start now. If need be, we can inform him.
Yeah, alright, so guys, welcome to what is it, right? Race 5, round 5, whatever it is.
Round 5.
Hope you enjoyed your week off, yep. To all of you who joined IndyCar last weekend, thanks for joining, it was good fun. In terms of the last race we did, I don't even know, I have such bad memory. Where did we race last anyway?
You were commentating.
Spa.
It's good to know that you know your own league.
Does anybody have any questions from Spa? Any questions whatsoever? Yes? No? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Alright, no questions. Good. Okay, Tom, what's your question?
Yeah, it's for this round. There's 20 kilos of ballast for lake pond and free play in this first race, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
First.
Oh shit. Oh shoot, somebody has to log in as a
Yeah,
admin.
I
I've done it already.
did it.
Legend.
Just remind me to reset it before.
Yeah,
the
so
second race.
basically it's qualifying and race 1 ballast, and then for the start of race 2 you can take it off.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, just remind me because I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah, no problem. How do you want me to remind you? DM on.
I don't read PMs when I race, so you have to join the server.
I'll,
Voice.
Or
I'll
maybe
DM you on. I'll do chat, race chat. So.
Join
if you
call
can do
is
it in race chat, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. So in terms of Fuji, let me just pull up Garlic's little brief that he's made nicely. There's not much to cover, which is why I was okay with postponing the brief ever so slightly. Let me just find that really quick. Track limits are Fuji, pretty naturally enforced, really. So we won't be monitoring it. However, if there is an exceptional circumstance, which is very obvious to all of us, then obviously we will look into it. Let's just say the chicane towards the end of the lap, if you do have to cut the chicane, I expect you to slow down in the chicane while you transit through and then not gain any lasting advantage. Obviously, you guys should know by now what's the definition of a lasting advantage. All the rules we're enforcing right now are found in the new rule book, which I have audited and made. So please have a look at the new rule book because every decision moving forward now will be based on that rule book. And like I said, the Scooby rejoin in Silverstone, based on our rules now, would have been a penalty for Scooby. Sorry, Scooby. So obviously, all that will be looked into. So any incident from now on, we'll be referring to that rule book. Again, Sato, I apologize for that decision at Silverstone. It's very difficult to find concrete rules when it comes to stuff like unsafe rejoin, stuff like that. So it's a lot of trial and error. So after TK posted that video on the general chat yesterday, had a bit of a read as well into other sim racing forums, and yeah, that's the best rule that I could come up with. In terms of other stuff that I've audited yesterday, sorry if you guys got a lot of pings, but yeah, TK sent some really good stuff through yesterday. Let me just pull up the stuff I've audited really quick. Unsafe rejoins. There's also an extra section under overtaking. So in terms of better wording, so please have a look at that. When the lead car has to leave space on the straightaway. So basically, moving forward, if you've got any part of the car alongside the car ahead has to leave you space. That's simple as that. The rules are a lot more stringent now on the straights. So please have a look into that. The car ahead can dictate the line. Like if you want to start moving across or whatever, you can do that, but please make sure that is predictable. Once again, all that's audited in the rule book. That's fine. We haven't really done much. And there's an extra point added under racing etiquette. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, just the thing you've probably missed is obviously we've audited the rule book. I mean, with the help of the rest of the stewards. So please have a look into that. And yeah, we've just whatever audited is in the updated version. So please have a look into that because those are the rules we'll be enforcing moving forward. Now, in terms of Fuji, like I said, if this is what I was saying as well, G, while you were away, is that if you cut the chicane, I expect you to slow down when you transit through the chicane and not gain a lasting advantage, and then rejoin the track as safely as possible. If you see any car that is going to be on the racing line when you rejoin, please let them pass. Don't try and jump them, because you, the one, not you, but whoever is in that position, has to cut the corner and gain a lasting advantage. So please don't gain a lasting advantage. Is what I'm trying to say. And in terms of anything else, pull up Alec's message once again. Trying to find the DRS. Yeah, the DRS. Oh yeah, Tom, do you want to cover that really quick? Because I'm not really familiar with the DRS stuff.
Yeah. On this mod of Fuji, it's possible to activate DRS out of turn 1, and we can't really do anything about it on qualifying. But for the race, if you don't get the green lamp on your DRS app, you will get a penalty for opening it. So I don't remember if it gave you the green lamp, but just if it doesn't, don't open it, okay? You will get a 3-second penalty every time.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. That's the buggy DRS. Yes, Scooby?
I want to make it clear about the DRS. So the official about rules, DRS just waiting for the green light of the DRS app, right? Not following the mode section that you can turn on the DRS after turn 1 and the race. Is that clear? Is it?
You shouldn't be
right?
turning it on
If-
after turn 1.
If the green lamp on the app is still green, you can turn it on and we can't do anything about it because we won't notice.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, there's some concepts about it. So I'm afraid that
Yes.
if I'm turning on after the T1 and I got the penalties, kind of ridiculous. So I want to make it clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
no, all good. That's
just
fair enough.
don't turn it on by reflex. Just
Yes.
make a very conscious choice.
Look,
Let's say.
Yeah.
If it ends up being the case that like people accidentally turn it on and you get a penalty or something like happens, we'll do the same thing we did at Hockenheim. We'll take that into consideration. Because like we're
Yeah,
not
you
gonna
can
leave
always
it
just-
if there's
Yeah, you can always
miscommunication.
appeal, and I won't be unfair with your appeals. Like unless you appealed his 5-point penalty, I would more than consider it to give his 5 points back. Like, yeah, so I won't. I'll be
Race
considerate in
director
that
is
regard.
his bastion of objectivity.
Hey man, keep it professional. No, I'm joking. Wait, Rohei just said, just stand by. What channel is he referring to? Oh, is
Yeah,
it
let's say
because? Is it because he doesn't have a role?
I think he's using his new account, I guess.
Yeah, let me see. I've given him the role. Ah, I nearly clicked ban Rohei. Oops. That wouldn't have helped.
Alright, I think that's everything. So if you want to leave, you
That's-
can.
Yes,
Well,
you can
fine,
leave. Oh no, actually, before you leave, does anyone have any questions? 5, 4, 3,
Wait,
2.
You're
Yes.
pressuring them.
How many cars is it like? So if there's a crash, how many cars is it for a safety car?
No safety car.
There's no safety cars, mate.
Hello, Josh
if
Mitchell.
it's death, it's death.
Alright, that's all, guys. Thanks for joining.
Go
Sorry I was a
qualify.
bit late. Yep, go qualify. We're on time. See you guys.
Bye, good luck. Have fun.
Good luck,
Don't
guys.
kill each other. Josh, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I won't.
Is he red tagged or something?
He has a target.
Alright, moving on. So that's that for the driver's briefing.
That was it. I nearly had to do it myself, but thankfully Simon was able to jump in just in time.
This is exactly what happened to me last time. Flying
Eh.
Sane, welcome
Yeah,
back.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, we're not on broadcast, right?
We are.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Good. Hello. Well, I was about to swear, but now I'm not going to.
It's fine. Josh Mitchell swore.
The Giga Chat is back, by the way.
Like what?
You.
Alright. I'm looking for the broadcast screen
Oh, hold on.
so we can commentate.
There we go. And it appears.
Alright.
Right, so in the development of the driver's briefing, Miko ended up setting the fastest lap of practice. Unfortunately, he is-
I'm sorry, you are cutting out. Can you please repeat?
That's fantastic. Hopefully that's all.
Yep.
Alright, good. So while we were doing the driver's briefing, Miko ended up setting the fastest lap of practice. I believe it was just over 3/10 faster than Scoop. You can see the times there from the last session, so 128.1. So Miko has now set the bar for the drivers, and interestingly enough, that was on the hard tires. Now Scoop is running the mediums, and has continued to run the mediums for quite a while now. So I wonder if the hards are going to start to be more of a favourite tire for qualifying or not, or if we're still going to maintain the mediums.
It's based on that evidence, it's quite clear to say that the hards will be the tire for the race.
Ooh, somebody just
Based
spun
on
out.
I think both the two cars got in each other's way there.
Ideal. But what do you think, Garlic? Based on that evidence, surely the hard tire is the preferred race tire, don't you think?
I suspect it will be, yes. It depends really on how the medium's going to hold up. We know Scoob is actually quite leaning on his sizes. Rohe's joined! Yay! Rohe is here!
The Jamaican idol himself has joined the server, but no. It's an interesting point you bring that up, Garlic, is that I remember from my experiences in sim racing back in the day, a lot of the times, if you wanted to use a softer tire in qualifying, as Kisata is about to start a hot lap, if you want to use the softer tires in qualifying for the final run, you have to make sure a lot of the time, especially with high tire temperatures or high track temperatures, that you keep a bit of life in those tires for the last sector. So that may be what's happening, is that maybe some drivers are taking too much out of the tire within the first and second sector, and then they're running out of all the grip in the last bit of the technical sectors. So it'll be interesting to see if some of the drivers, if they do choose to qualify in the mediums, how will they attack sector 1 and 2? I'm pretty sure drivers like Ballista and Alessia Suri, who've got bags of experience, they will still go for the softer tire in qualifying. So
well, it's interesting you say that, as Sato is the first of the drivers at a flying lap, but only going through the hairpin. We know Alessio's driving style is very oversteering. If you can cast your mind back to the Formula 3 Sundays at Bahrain, first race that Alessio did in an officially sanctioned Artito racing event. He going through turn 9 and turn 10, he was pretty much sideways to that corner. And so with Sector 3, as you're saying, point being such a technical aspect of the track,
Sato is at the very moment as well.
Yeah, speak of the devil. It'll be interesting to see how Alessio drives the car through these corners, because of course it's very tight, it's very grip limited, and I wonder if he's going to be able to use his driving technique that is so slip dependent to be able to
Fuji.
gain time, or cause his tires to wear significantly to the point that it's going to cost him time and position.
Fuji is a track that has traditionally favoured cars or drivers which prefer oversteering cars. Cast back your mind to when this track was a part of the Formula 1 calendar. That's why Lewis Hamilton excelled at this track, is because back then he preferred such an oversteering setup. Because this track is very, very front limited. You look at all these corners. If you can manage that rear end and get that car to turn in, an oversteering car here will be the way to go, because there are not many slow technical speed technical corners. It's mostly just high to medium speed corners, even in the last sector. So that, and when you want an understeering car in general, is through the slow speed corner, so you can manage that slip angle, so you can preserve those rear tires. So again, it's a balancing act, and some drivers get it right, some drivers don't. So, and sometimes certain tracks and cars prefer certain drivers. And it's clear that so far these cars have favoured Alessia Suri.
Yep, absolutely. And at the moment, two drivers have already set their time. Sato currently on pole at 1 minute 30, almost dead. As he's back. As Flying saying disconnects and reconnects. And Tobe currently in second, the only other drivers who have logged a time for 131 dead. As I say that, Lake Bun has posted up for 131.013, only just pipping Norwegian driver for P2 there. So it's interesting to see Lake Bun seems to have the pace this race to be able to challenge some of the mid to higher drivers on the grid.
I think shot the podium as well.
9.2, wow!
Oh, that just came out of nowhere.
Wow. Just noticed that.
Clearly,
Perfect.
even G's experience is giving him the best of the best.
Yep, and we know G is racing very well here on the track. If you cast your mind back to the pre-season test race that we had here at this very track, in race 2, G was fighting for his absolute life against Ballista for the dying laps of that.
I remember
race.
that.
And was still able to go a P2 of his own regard, but for a good, solid time, he was fighting tooth and nail against the Japanese driver, as Alessio says the fastest lap of 128.605, just over 6 seconds faster than the Australian. But G has the pace, not only in this car, but at this track, and he's certainly a dark horse coming into this round.
Very much so. It seems to look.
Let's go on board. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve now.
Yes, and this will actually answer a question going through Sector 3 from the Italian driver, how he's going to be negotiating this car around this track.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. If there's one part his setup won't work, from my experience, is chicane, the bus stop, not bus stop, but this hairpin coming up, and chicane, the slow Dunlop corner, but then after this little stop-start sequence, it's when his setup will really come into his own. To roll that front end in, and you can see how tentative he is in turning. He's not using as much of a slip angle because his car is so compliant to go in. You can just see him having to manage that. But because he can manage that, the amount of front end he has and the amount of apex speed he can carry through mid corner is incredible. And that's what's giving him so much space as he now runs the final corner and down the long straightaway. Very, very important to get a good exit out of that last corner here at Fuji, because you carry that momentum for pretty much a good solid portion of the lap. So Alessio Siri does not improve his time. Oh, he does. He goes on a 28. Ballista just under 4 tenths behind. And Scooby right there within half a second. And Nico jumps into ahead of Ballista onto the front row, just 3 tenths of the pace.
It's interesting.
I found
Go
a
ahead.
detail behind Alessio Series Sector 3 is that he ships down to second to the SS. Well, most drivers found the third gear to be much more usable throughout those corners.
It's interesting you say that, and I'll touch on that in a moment, but just on the point we're making beforehand with Alessio's driving style, there wasn't as much opposite steering angle you would expect typically from Alessio in this car, and I suspect that is due to Sector 3 being a very difficult sector to be able to negotiate because the car gets so light. A lot of those corners are off camber, a lot of elevation changes, a lot of trail braking leading to very tight hairpins that you have to contend with through that sector. But of course, with Alessio's very oversteering nature, as I speak of oversteering, Miko executed a very nice drift there to try to save the F3. But as I was saying, Alessio's driving style is very naturally towards that oversteering setup. But as you were saying, Kenjay, he opted to use second gear and lower gears through the braking zones of the slowest sections of that sector, rather than third gear than the best of the drivers are opting to use. And so while that is very driver dependent and very grip limiting, it's reaped dividends for him. He set the fastest third sector of a 35.3, and I'll look at Ballista's time in just a second. 35.7, yeah. So he's 4 tenths faster than Ballista through just that sector, and that's where he's gaining time.
I suspect
you have to remember as well, when you shift down to a lower gear, you transfer the weight around the car as well, so your front end becomes a lot more reactive. However, as a result, your rear end starts to become even looser, and a lot of drivers struggle to handle when the rear end starts kicking around a bit. And clearly we can see that the Italian can handle this, and that's why he's going into second gear to get even more extra rotation. And then out of the corner, because he's in the lower gear, he's getting a lot more revs, and he's getting probably a lot more acceleration out of the car as well. So that's something to take into account as well into this final sector, and to why he's using second gear. You see Nico using third gear.
Yeah, I suspect he's using engine braking instead of the
yes, he is as well. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Be interesting to see his setup, honestly. Of course, that is a very securely guarded secret from the Italian driver. Known for his setup trickery, as well as his pace as well. And I suspect that he's going to be keeping that very tightly sealed from his competitors, not giving them any excess advantage.
Whoa! Miko
speaking of his competitors,
taking the first place!
Advantage.
Wow!
Miko making his presence known here as Aaron. Who is Aaron Barnes? I don't think it's Miko, I'll be honest. But Miko setting the fastest lap of qualifying with 1
my lord! Oh wow!
There we go. We're
The
seeing
Filipino driver puts down the gauntlet, and who had Nico on provisional pole position with 5 minutes to go in this qualifying
I
session?
don't think everyone did. We were talking in the pre-race show that Miko would certainly be challenging for a podium today. Kenji putting him in P2, but I don't think anyone was suspecting a possible P1 from the Filipino.
I never did expect it at all.
Yeah, wow. So clearly that practice session pace was not a fluke. He's genuinely on the pace here. So let's go on board with the Italian driver, Alessio Siri, as he now comes across the start line. Is he going to improve his lap time, or is he about to start a hot lap? Let's go and find out. So as we go into turn 1 here, he's braking at the 100-meter board. You just want to flip the curve, not too much. Just take a bit of a wider line through that curve. Then you accelerate down this straight, and then you want to put it just after the 100-meter board here, and then shift down into third gear. And as we see, Alessio Siri is probably opting to take it in fourth gear. And this is a very, very nice corner. It's a double apex, like, is he that? As we see Alessio Siri taking the pace now as he gets the car into second gear, gets the nose in, and now he will head towards Dunlop corner. It's going to be a second gear hairpin. It's going to be interesting to see how he negotiates this corner. And he's going to brake just about at the 100-meter board, get that front end rolled in. As you know, as we were discussing before, this is the part of the track where he will struggle with his setup, but he negotiates it quite well. And he brings the car to the left-hand side and then gets it down into second gear, slightly misses the apex there, and now again brings the car back to the right-hand side, leaving a lot of track on the outside.
So confident.
Yeah, he's second. It's going to be fast.
Yeah, it's going to be fast here as we head into the last corner. My God, I love this track, and he gets a good exit out of there as well. I would still say he's got about 3/10 in that lap. He did not maximize that track to this full width, and a lot of times he was hesitant to get on the throttle, but he heads across the line now. Is he going to go into provisional pole position?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Wow,
Two purples, wow.
151.
But look at the gap, it's just under a 10. Nico doing exceptionally well. But like I said, Alessio Siri did leave a bit of time on the table. He was not attacking and using the with there in the last sector. So it's going to be interesting to see if somebody can capitalize on Alessio Siri potentially leaving a few tenths on the table. The guy closest to him is Miko. Not Ballista, Miko, as we see him going into the third sector. Can he improve his lap time and potentially nab a surprise pole position here for race 1?
It's interesting to see his time, looking at the times now. He was purple in the first sector and purple in the second, but in the third he was a 10th off. So he's only a 10th slower in the second sector than his fastest time in that third sector, which was his previous lap time at 35.3 in the previous one and a 35.4 in his current time. So he still has time on the track to be able to gain another 10th or so. But Miko, I suspect, is going to be pushing that car further because he does not. He probably has more potential to push that car and get more time in comparison to Alessio.
A bit of a lock up as we see somebody spun off.
Is on the right side.
Yeah, let's hope that. I think Miko's backing off. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go on board with Ballista. We need to see what our championship antagonist himself is up to. Our 3-time defending champion goes into the Dunlop corner. Can he? He needs to be on the front row here.
He's not struggling.
He's struggling with that car.
He is struggling, yeah. Is that qualifying over? He's pulling over.
If he teleports to pits, it is.
Yeah, wow.
So Ballista can only do third at best.
Wow.
Surprising
Wow.
From the champ.
And what's Scooby up to? Because Scooby can potentially jump Ballista here as well. As you see, on board with the Mystery Gang racing car. Yeah, he is. Is he going to improve his lap time and potentially go into third place? No, he's not.
Maybe it seems that he went off track. Yeah, it seems that he went off track. Got a 130 dead, so I don't think that's representative.
Quite understand.
Looks like it's It's going to be all on Miko here to see if he can snatch pole position away from Alessio Siri. Let's go on board with the Filipino driver.
He's about to start a flying lap down.
Let's go on board. Here we go. This is the last lap for him. 30 seconds left on the clock. This will be his last chance at getting an unlikely pole position. Garlic, take it away.
Going down to turn 1 now. Miko, all the weight of the world quite on him at the moment, and Pride of the Philippines right behind him. Down to turn 1 here, very nicely braking, getting that car turned in, using all the exit, perfectly executed there from the Filipino driver. Heading through turn 2 into turn 3. You want to be able to carry as much speed as possible through this corner. Seems as though he's able to do it very nicely. It's very clean first sector so far from Filipino. Going through this long bend of 100R now, you want to dip your tire into the apex, but not touching that grass there. Keeps it nice and stable entering turn 6. A little wide on the hairpin there, but he's able to power out for the most part, use all of that track. Short shifting into third, using all the revs in third and then fourth. Going down the straight now, trying to think about where he's going to brake. 300R, braking just about 50 to 75. Getting the car turned in nice and clean, avoiding the curbs to keep the car stable. Going through this section here, and the car's always going to be very light. Now through this off-camber corner. Bottom of third here, doesn't elect to use second, unlike Alessio. Will that cost some time is yet to be seen. Fourth, temporarily, down to second. But
unless your Siri goes back on the pole position, can Nico potentially...
Miko's gone wide there. He hasn't quite used all the apex there. That Nova's going to be...
But he will get a good exit there. He will get a good exit by going wider. So let's see if he can get pole position. Scooby jumped into a momentary pole position there.
See, will the Filipino get it?
No.
Not quite. No, not quite. He does improve.
Still surprised.
He improved his first sector, but not quite.
Still surprised that he's still in the top 3.
Yeah, and let's not forget now with Scooby in P2, Ballista's gone back up to 4th.
Yeah, Ballista not having the qualifying session that he was
Wow.
hoping to expect, really. And neither is Sato for that matter. Down in 7th.
Yeah, the Yakitori boys are not having a good home race so far.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the guys over at Japan.
No, and Rohei as well. Back in 9.
No, don't forget about Tobel as well.
Wow.
So, with qualifying over, here's our grid for race 1, and P1 Alessio Siri in another dominant fashion, but not quite as dominant as you would expect. A 128.040 for the Italian, but in P2, Indonesian driver Scooby-Doo leading the way from Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing, a 28.132, less than a tenth behind. So it's an incredible lap there from the Indonesian driver. In P3, Miko flying the flag for the Philippines, 128.2. P4, Ballista, the first of the Japanese and Yakitori drivers, on a 128.8, 8/10 off Alessio, his championship rival. P5 is the Australian of G, 129.2, followed by Turbolobe. Sato burning up the Yakitori cars and the Japanese drivers. In P8 is Lake Bun, probably not as strong qualifying as was hoping, but a pretty good showing nonetheless. P9 is Voke, which is actually pretty strong considering he just ran the server and did exactly 1 lap. And P10 is Josh Michael rounding out the grid for this race.
Oh, alright. You're gonna have a good race, I think.
We will
So
do.
the cars get onto the grid now.
At least now, this weekend, we've got main man take us away to start.
Well, with about 40 seconds remaining in this brief moment before we get ready to go. Drivers all getting ready, joining the grid. And it seems as though Scoob is going to be running the medium tyre, as is Turbolo for the first stint. Whereas everyone else will be running the hard.
So it's fair to say that Scooby should have the advantage at the start. It should give him at least a few meters off the start line. If he can capitalize that, it's going to be very interesting to see if he can going into turn 1. We have to remember that the apex at turn 1 tightens up ever so slightly. Garlic, the floor is yours.
We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights here. Round 5, we're back here for Artito Racing. And it's lights out and away we
Let's just
go.
got a
And
great
it's a good
start.
start there from Alessio in comparison to Scoob. Scoob not quite able to get the launch that he wanted. Now he's being hounded by both the Japanese and the Filipino drivers. I think it's just so much for the first time now. Seems to be all clear in the front, but Scoob's gone wide, very wide. Now he's being challenged by
Yes.
Miko immediately. All drivers are able to get through nice and clean.
Turn 1.
As we head through now into turn 3, I believe Alessio already making a commanding lead, but Ballista's got an incredible start. He's now challenging
Yeah.
Scoob for P2.
Yeah, he passed Miko there, and he was trying to capitalize on Scooby going wide. So Ballista getting a good start here, and he's going to try to negotiate past Scooby as fast as he can. But Alessio Siri, all the while, this happens is checking out front as Ballista now has to take a tight defensive line against Miko. So
Miko going for the dive now on the outside, going to Dunlop corner for
Oh,
the
he's
first
fighting
time.
back though.
He is really fighting. There's lockups everywhere on cold
Getting
tires.
feisty. He might also make the move here.
G's getting close as well. Is he going to send one down the inside?
He's
He
in
does.
the
He
inside.
looks
He
good.
is.
On the Japanese
Yeah.
driver, on the Yakitori guys, side
Small
by side.
contact.
Oh, a bit of contact. And G's gone wide there, but he's gonna get a nice exit here.
Oh,
Bouncy,
he's gonna have
very bouncy.
Bouncing over the social curbs there, that's going to unsettle him a little bit, but he's able to keep behind the Japanese driver, at least in the meantime, as to go down the straight now for the first time, heading towards lap 2. Alessio C with a very commanding lead against the Indonesian driver of Scoob, but it's all line of stern for the most part, coming off the grid here. As you see Sato trying to make a move on Lakefront, Soteria versus Yakitori Racing. Yakitori car wanting to make more positions for his championship battle. You can see a car slowed on the left-hand side there, not quite sure, I think that's Tope who's going slow in comparison to Sato, but Sato will make the move on Lakefront quite convincingly and quite cleanly going into the first corner here, and a very good move there from Sato. He's up to P7, next up is going to be the Norwegian driver of Tobelo. Lakefront though, not taking that line down, he's actually right behind the Japanese driver, still trying to make some sort of effort against him. It doesn't seem so
Sato goes so wide!
And as I say that, Sato's gone very wide there, and that's going to compromise his one going to 100R now, as we cut towards G. Trying to make a move on Ballista. Nothing quite happening with that, unfortunately.
Ballista seems to be off the pace.
Contact between Verhey and Lakefront.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness me.
And looks as though Verhey wasn't on screen, unfortunately, but Verhey seemed to have outbroken himself against Lakefront. And Lakefront goes
SG
round.
makes the move down the inside through Ballista!
Nice,
Ballista.
but Ballista comes back around the outside. Good racing here between those two. We saw an incredible battle. We got an incredible battle between those two last time out we were here doing the pre-race show.
Miko, I think, had made contact.
Miko's falling down, yeah. Miko's all the way down. I don't know what's happened there.
Unfortunately, the Filipino driver.
Must have made a mistake, or as G's gone back down the inside of Ballista. Wow.
P3!
Wow.
The Australian driver just absolutely showing up the Japanese. Taking the opportunities where he can.
Yeah, wow. And she's Scooby. We have to remember Scooby's on the medium tire there.
He is in the medium tire and he will have DRS, but that is interesting to look at. There's several fast laps here. But interestingly enough, Scoob will have the DRS, he'll have the medium tires,
goes
but
back
he
down
has
the
the pace
inside.
over Alessio as, Ballista makes the move against G, but G's going to be fighting back immediately. Go through Coca-Cola.
Oh, that was
Oh my god.
Very
It's gone wide there.
So scary.
A bit wide there.
And now Tobe is getting interested in this battle for P3 here. Suddenly
Yeah.
the position for P3 now has 3 drivers looking for it.
Look at
Just
how
a
much
bit
time
too much,
Ballista's...
too hard on the end.
Yeah. Look at the amount of time Ballista's lost to Scooby in all of that battling. That's a lot of time.
And you can just see Sato in the mirrors of the Kame car getting ever bigger, and he may be looking for some sort of move here. Toyoba election to get the race line for the most part, but Sato getting very big in the mirrors there of the Norwegian driver.
Yeah.
Right on the coattails.
He's hustling. Both the Yakitori cars are smelling blood here. Both the Yakitori cars are smelling an overtake. It's going to be interesting to see, however, are we going to see any DRS chicken games? Because we know that DRS on the main straight is going to be very, very powerful. Let's go over with Scooby now, shall we, really quickly. Let's see if he's sizing up a bit of a move here on the LCS series. Only 7 tenths off the pace. He is gaining. He does have DRS. Yep. But I don't think he'll be close enough to have an overtake into turn 1. But
Unless
if
he
he can
goes
get...
for a mega spin.
Oh, he does the dummy on him!
His nose out.
He does
And
the dummy.
Alessio, a sign of weakness perhaps, and the sign of fear. He goes defensive to that corner. That's going to compromise him going out of the first corner. Down in towards Coca-Cola. And the Indonesian is right behind the Italian, who is
Oh, he's on the
so
grass!
dominant.
No!
No, he's gone off.
Oh,
A little too eager, and the Indonesian goes
Oh my
round.
god.
and he spun around as well. Oh, don't have a run safe rejoin. oh, good. That's good.
That was harsh on him.
Yep. Alessio
only
series
a couple-
afternoon has been
couple
made a lot easier.
Couple millimeters difference between getting through that corner and getting caught on the curb there from the Indonesian driver. That is absolutely heartbreaking from
Yeah.
the Indonesian, from Scoop.
He was trying his absolute level best to try and get his bigger rotation through that corner,
Yeah, he was,
and get a mega exit. But yeah,
ever
just
so
use a bit of
slightly closing in as well on the 100
Yep.
corner.
Yep.
Now
I
suddenly
think
G has found himself in P2 and is now trying to defend from Ballista again. A bit of a deja vu between the two drivers in just different positions for the bit of Italian
That's
spike.
sliding for Tobelo right there.
Yeah, and I wonder if his tires are starting to go already.
gone back in time, haven't we?
We have a bit.
Yeah.
Started getting a good exit there in comparison to Tobelo. He's going to be getting that DRS and that slipstream down this 1.5 kilometers straight. Will the Japanese driver try to make it on the Japanese citizen going into turn 1? You can see and hear that V6 absolutely ringing away, but it seems that the Toba is already gaining. He will have the DRS in comparison, as well from Ballista, and I wonder if he's getting a stronger slipstream as well. It seems as though Sato is a bigger...
He went a bit defensive there on Ballista, so those two are getting a bit close.
And this train is starting to form, as we were alluding to earlier, Funny saying, we now have the train from 2nd down to 5th, and I wonder if Miko might actually be able to get back involved in this, because it's only 2.5 seconds behind. There's a chance that Miko can get back involved.
Scooby might be sizing up an overtake on Miko shortly as well. Yep,
it is, yeah, it's entirely possible. Scoob looking around the outside, he's going to go for a move into the hairpin, but he doesn't quite have the distance.
I think he was just trying to throw Miko off guard there. With me, he was just trying to throw Miko off guard there.
But he has the pace, certainly, against the Filipino driver. Indonesia versus Philippines, Southeast Asian battle here.
I think Scooby can get back into P2 with the pace he's showing.
Well, he has
I think he can.
Last sector, purple sector 3 at the moment.
Played well for him in the reverse race though, with the pace he's showing.
Yes, absolutely. You can see he's edging ever closer to the Filipino driver, trying to eke as much ground as possible, and you can see all the way back to P2 there. So this battle is getting incredibly close here, as we have from 2nd to 7th, all separated by only about 2 seconds or so. It's not much.
Josh Mitchell might be smelling a P2 here with this, right?
Yeah, entirely possible. It seems that Roy has dropped some pace there. It might be due to the fact that he hasn't had much practice.
You also have to remember he did have a big spin at the start of the race.
Yes, he did have a big spin.
Here goes, Scooby's closing in. He might look down the inside, he might not.
Oh!
Miko goes wide!
And Scooby taking a much more cautious line there. It appears as though he realized that Miko didn't have full control of his car, electing to just not keep his nose in there, electing to leave the Filipino to sort himself out, and maybe looking for a better opportunity down the line.
Ow! We'll fight for P2, hey?
Yeah, fight for P2 does have a huge train in her hands, while Siri is running away with the race.
He's 12 seconds ahead. Once again, it's literally a Sunday.
Very much so for him.
This guy just wakes up in the morning and he just moves races casually. Nice. Literally
like
as well. Literally. Yeah. So yeah, we've got an incredible battle with P2, and I honestly could not tell you who might be the favorite to get out, get P2 out of this.
Well,
He's checking out a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems that the 2 podium positions are starting to check out a little bit, as Toby is now starting to form a train here. He may be struggling with tyre wear, as we're getting to the point in the race.
Scooby beaching it over the curb once again.
Oh, hang on,
so
this is going to be spicy in a second. This is going to be spicy in a very small second here. Into the Miko is going to be pulling to the right hand side. He looks to be going to the pits for a second. Scoob getting a little bit of that slipstream, getting that DRS. Yep, Miko's gone into the pits there, so he's going to make this be the first stop here this race. But in the meantime, the rest of the pack seem to be staying out here. Scoob trying to get that slipstream. He's going to make a move on the Japanese driver.
Mighty dive bomb from Scooby!
What a send! What an absolute send from the Indonesian driver. Shades of his teammate there, taking lessons from the Irish Jamaican that you can make a send and a half if you have enough slipstream, enough DRS, and enough courage to do so.
The wholeness is the answer.
Oh my
He's not done yet! He's going
for double as well! Maybe in the inside here.
He might go for Fuji on the hairpin.
Again! Whoa!
Oh, just that! He's oversended here though, so it looks as though the Tobe is going to have a nose coming through 300R, I believe. 100R, sorry.
Scooby making 2 positions in just 1 lap! On the same
Norwegian
sector
driver is
as well.
right behind. He's not going to be able to make that move. Absolute masterclass. Overtaking from the Indonesian driver. He'll go up into P4 just like that.
Yep, I told you, don't count him out of getting back into P2 with the pace he's showing. Incredible driving.
And he's already checking out from his competitors. Tobe continuing to hold up Sato, but the looks of it, Sato not having a bit of a tour d'affaire there. Okay,
wow.
To lap 7. So this is the same as though Siri has elected to pit this lap. Will any drivers elect to pit? I think Scoob's going to look to make his pit stop now. He's pulling to the right hand side. He's going into the pits now. Yes, so Scoob's going to be making a move here and now.
Our boss has joined.
Yes,
Our big boss has joined.
Big boss.
I'm the boss, he's the big boss.
Great problem in the chat, not electing to speak, but that's okay. So go on to lap 8 now. Siri is commanding lead of 14 seconds, but G continuing to fight for his life, and it seems to be a bit of a pattern. As Scoop has finally stopped in his pit box, he's making his elected stop. I will tell you what tyres he's on in a second. So he's going mediums again, interestingly enough. So it seems as though mediums are the tire of choice here for the competitors. I wonder if the other drivers are going to make a reaction from seeing Scuba's pace and maybe elect to use the mediums, which they haven't been practicing on during the practice and qualifying sessions. A lot of the drivers are electing to only use the hards, maybe it's a force of habit, as the hards have been the faster tire for a majority of the races here this season. But as we go to Sato at the moment, here he's already staying patient, being very cautious to be able to make the move against the Norwegian driver. Meanwhile, Scoop is already making moves against Josh Mitchell. He's probably going to be careful here, considering the Australian's record of getting in contact with a lot of the front runners, particularly with Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing cars. But since the Miko has been jumped by Scoop by the looks of it.
Yeah,
and so he's behind.
Alessio
in the pits. Will G elect to go in the pits here? He does, yes. And will Ballista stays out, interesting enough. So he's going long.
Yep. I don't think any strategy is going to make a difference.
It could, you never know. It could be a matter of traffic. If Sada makes the move on the Turbolobe for the P2, it's probably not going to be a net P2, probably about a net P4. The Yakitori car is finally able to dispose of the Norwegian driver, and he'll make his way up one spot. And I'm sure Sada is going to be quite happy with that move, being able to dispatch of Turbolobe finally after being held up for so long.
And as we now look at Leslie Siri, it's one of the pits, and G's pitted as well, so he's now 15 seconds ahead. So not many inroads being made by the undercut. I think Leslie Siri went into pits a lap later. Yeah, so Ballista's yet to pit, Sato's yet to pit, and it's a Yakitori 1-2, so I'm pretty sure the Japanese would want the race to stop right about now, but sadly, there's still a bit of racing left.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, we had Japanese 1-2-3 if you count citizenship, of course, Toby.
Japanese citizen.
But unfortunately with Miko, who's physically gotten held in traffic quite badly against Josh Mitchell, fighting for his life here, trying to get any evidence of points, and I reckon if he can get a clean race and a victory against the Filipino driver, he'll be certainly very happy with that. Heading into Dunlop corner now for the ninth time this race.
Skittish, and he's jumping!
I say that Josh Mitchell getting very skittish, and he immediately retired into the box there. Since then, Miko's able to avoid him for the most part. He gets a little bit crisscrossed.
Has he retired already? Where is he?
I think
in the pits.
Yeah, I think he jumped to the pits to avoid the crash.
Yeah, instinctually.
Wow.
He's saying instantly hit my return to pit spot found. So he's elected to retire for this first race, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame considering he was doing very well for himself there.
If he teleported back to the pits,
he could have got points. Why did he retire?
I think he was trying to avoid making contact with Miko.
No, I don't believe he retired. I think he just went to the pits and continued lap down.
Yeah, because I mean, there's points on the table here for Josh Mitchell if he can get back out there. So
we'll keep an eye on him. But if he can at least continue to race, he will be able to get points. Meanwhile, Ballista's making a move on Scoop.
And Scooby's gone past Ballista, hasn't he?
I think so, yeah. Scoop is behind, so Scoop into a P4 and net P3, I believe. So he might be able to might try to challenge the likes of G. Yeah, 3.3 second gap between him and the Australian driver. It's a bit of a ways off, but meanwhile go towards Miko going fight against Sato. He's going to go towards the racing line. Sato's trying to go defensive, but an absolute dive from the Filipino driver around the outside. They'll say thank you very much. I don't care, it's your home race. I'm taking that position.
On the outside as well.
Yep, and let's not forget, Sato is not an easy driver to overtake.
Yeah, that's true.
Incredible drive there from Miko. Very good recovery drive, must be said, from the Filipino driver. Yep, so Turbo into the pits. It'll be interesting to see where he comes, because he's been on those mediums for 9 laps now.
I don't get this strategy. Why are some people extending the mediums for so long when they can get on the hards and get a lot more out of them?
It could be the fuel.
Yeah, probably.
Because I believe the ideal strategy is
But as hold that thought really quick as we see Ballista trying to go for an overtake.
He's really being patient though.
Very close.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Just quickly, Tobe has come out right in front of Sato.
Wow.
Oh, this is going to be interesting with cold tires.
Is that traffic in front of them?
No, that's Miko.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
So,
see Sate struggling.
Interesting enough, the overcut for Turbulent has worked. He's been able to regain that position against the Japanese
He was
driver.
P6 all along though, wasn't he? Pretty sure he
Yes,
was.
but he got overtaken by Sato before the pistol phase.
Yeah. But surely, let's go back on board with Ballista as he might be sizing up a move going into turn 1. But really quickly,
Wait, hold on.
wouldn't you just want to go on the hard tires on a lighter fuel load, because the hard tires would hold up a lot better over 9 laps, and then put on the mediums, theoretically the faster tire on a lighter fuel load, and you can come back so much stronger at the end of the race. Yeah, this strategy does not make sense to me.
Thing is, you say that, who here has the fastest lap at the moment?
Scooby.
Scooby does have the
And
fastest lap
what-
at the moment.
And what tires has he been on the entire race?
He started on the mediums, didn't he?
He's not on the mediums and he's finishing on the mediums. I think it's the ideal strategy.
Wait, so you don't have to use mediums and hards?
No.
No.
Huh. Interesting.
Boy, this is your own league. How do you not know this?
I thought the rules were that you have to use both types.
You wrote the rules. You loudly proclaimed in the driver's briefing, I wrote a new rule book. Sure.
Oh god. Anyways, let's go back on board and see some racing, shall we? Let's not hold me out anymore.
I didn't know this was a roast session.
Apparently it is. Apparently Sire doesn't know his own rule book.
I have a lot going on, and all that's been happening, by the way. We're about to have a 3-way battle for P2. So that's gonna be...
Jeez, a ways up the road. Oh
No,
no,
just-
you're correct. Ballista's right behind you.
Yeah. Let's go on board, shall we? With Ballista? That's gonna... Oh, look at this. Look at that. 3 cars battling for the 2nd and 3rd spot on the podium. Somebody's gonna have to miss out. Who's it gonna be, I wonder?
And I don't think Ballista's going to be wanting to be the one to miss out. Of course, we know him to be a very patient driver in comparison to dealing with the likes of Scoop and G, but he doesn't have the pace in comparison to previous races. You see him
Look at
gliding
it.
around there, struggling with the tires, and he goes wide as well through here. He is certainly struggling with the tires at the moment, and probably the dirty.
For all the talk we were having on top of the show about the hard tire being the preferred race tire, the mediums actually are turning out to be the race tire.
Yep, it appears as such, and Scoo having the pace over the rest of his competitors at the moment, making a very strong case here to be able to get, I believe it might be his first podium this season actually.
Might be set up with something to set up as well that makes the medium.
Sato making the move here,
Plus
going
the
towards the
roll
right hand
as
side,
Sate going to
and
the
he
side.
makes the move very cleanly. Very nicely indeed.
Yep. As Sate goes up into P6, at the moment, as things stand, none of the Yakitori cars are on the podium. Scooby once again.
We can
nearly
just
gets
join
beat
back
in-
to Scoob there on 2 wheels going through the Coca-Cola corner,
Scooby,
using all of the
Scooby's
tire.
He must love
Scooby's been-
sausages.
Must. But he's
Scooby-
right behind G now.
Scooby's been all over the track today. He really has.
Honestly, if he gets to second, it's going to be well deserved, but he's right on the gearbox there.
Oh,
Jeez,
he's not
round
giving
the
any
outside
space
there.
at all!
Oh,
we
and
know-
G, a little unclear as to where he was going to go there. Scoop having to take a auditory action, but we're all clean for the most part here.
We do know that G is a very hard defender, but he's beached it there ever so slightly, so he's gonna have a tight line. And let's not forget, guys, the tight lines are good for defensive driving, but with that long front start finish straight, that tight line and a worse exit is gonna have massive deficit as he goes down the main straight. So Scooby will try to capitalize here with the DRS. We see G moving over ever so slightly, parking his car on the middle of the track. Scooby's, this is going to be a fairly
Right hand
easy
side
overtake
there,
there.
very easy overtake there from the Indonesian driver.
Yeah.
And I wonder if
We see
Ballista's gonna try
Ballista
and make a
closing
move
in
as
as well on G.
He's gaining,
But he's
but he's not going to make the move.
No, Scooby up into P2. What a drive this has been from the Indonesian driver.
Oh, but he's
Incredible.
just going over the AstroTurf.
If there was a vote for driver of the day, I know who I'd be voting for today. Incredible. As you see
Scoob has
Sate
shown
getting,
incredible pace.
as Sate has gone back past Tobolo. So the undercut worked momentarily. Sate with his superior pace is back into P6.
Oh,
As
my
Ballista
Ballista might have a sniff down the inside over at the Dunlop corner.
Yeah,
G.
Ballista right behind G, and I know that feeling from G, having Ballista right in your tail. He's going to look
Smelling blood in the
towards the
water.
outside.
Oh,
He's not going to make the move.
He
no,
might.
but he's going to try and hang.
No, he's not close enough.
Alessio Siri will shortly be taking the white flag to start this final lap. But all the action is right behind them. As we see G missing the apex ever so slightly. Can Ballista now potentially send one down the inside? No, he cannot. So now Ballista will size up this overtake. He's gonna have, let's not forget, he's gonna have double slipstream, double DRS. So G's gonna have DRS himself, but he's gone a bit wide there.
That's a good exit for the Japanese driver. He's going to have the DRS, he's going to have the slipstream. He's going to be gaining on the Australian driver. He wants that third place. Going to look towards the right-hand side. Already gaining down the straight alongside the Australian driver, but he'll make the move before the start line as we go towards the final lap now for those two drivers. Alessio Siri absolutely
side by
steaming
side.
ahead. They're still side by side, but G makes it a mega dive. Wow!
Oh, they're keeping it
Just
clean.
about, but G
Still side by side.
G hangs it around the outside.
and there's contact, a little bit of contact between the two drivers, but G is able to get his nose out front and keep P3 going through Coca-Cola corner now.
A bit wide, a bit wide.
It's got a bit wide. Ballista, like we said, will not want to miss out.
He's gonna cut on the
Will he send one down
backside.
the
He's
Oh
gonna
my
make
god,
some-
keep it
he's
clean,
gonna
boys!
slide.
Oh, he's entered the
Let's go,
slide,
and
and both of them made contact at the hairpin.
Oh no, Miko's gonna get a point.
And Miko was sneaked through there, and that's the last thing that Ballista wanted.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Unfortunate
Yeah,
for the
well-
both drivers.
I'll have to have a look at that post race, but yeah,
So Alessio
I
Siri
can
now
see that
going
coming.
to the final corner. He's coming onto the main straight.
Alessio Siri, once again, a classic drive. This guy is on another level this season. As he runs and across the start finish line, Alessio Siri, like you said, continues his winning streak and wins.
Even after
The first race.
even after the mid
And he
break.
sets the fastest lap.
Yep, and they'll get the fastest lap, 128.6, rounded off too.
Scooby,
But
round
put
of
your
applause,
hands
second
together for
place.
the intermediate
Scooby,
driver.
what a try.
First podium of
Place.
the season for Scoob. It seems with bad luck, it's finally over. He'll take second place here in an amazing and
Yeah, he's
well-deserved
very
race
happy
from
for
him.
it, and might
Nico,
say as well,
I'm so
Nico
happy
for
for
third
Nico.
place.
Nico,
A fellow
keeping up
Filipino
that
driver on the podium.
keeps up that consistency. Great driving.
Great
And
driving
Ballista's
indeed.
dropped into 7. Ballista's dropped into 7.
Whoa, what happened?
Ballista
to
dropped all the way down. I don't know what's happened there, unfortunately. Yeah, but Ballista
He's
dropped
got
all the
back.
way down. So Sada's gotten in front.
Wow.
Wow.
Probably sustained
That's,
damage from that. Considering we
that's
have
gonna-
100%.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is... Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Roy taking
And
a 9th
Rohei,
place.
yeah, Rohei getting the points towards the end there, so he's
Gosh,
in.
there's
Strategic first place for the race too.
Does somebody want to tell Josh Mitchell how the rules work? Why didn't he go back out there and get a point?
I
To be fair, he's quite tired, apparently.
Josh Mitchell does not have a point. And Joe, hey?
rally lines, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Watch out,
Oh
Sebastian
my
Lowe.
God. Rally lines indeed goes to the gravel. Oh wait, it did.
Is he on fuel? Or,
No, I think he just stopped, yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
somebody's
so that was
doing donuts.
quite an interesting race. Is it Alessio Siri, maybe?
I don't believe so.
Well, he's the only one, apart from Scooby, that should be doing donuts after that race.
Oh, it's Josh
Well,
Mitchell.
Of course, it's Josh Mitchell.
I didn't know what he's doing there, but you know.
Josh Mitchell's apparently doing donuts with his teammate. Nice.
It seems to be commonplace for the two Soteria cars. But the results for race 1, Alessio Siri, considering his dominant streak, he'll finish P1, but Scooby-Doo, for Mystery Gang Red Bull Racing, finally getting the podium that we know he could get. He'll get that second place, and a well-deserved second place indeed for the Indonesian driver. Miko and P3 able to capitalize on other drivers' misfortune. G and P4, which is a pretty good showing nonetheless, but he was P2 at one moment. He's going to be thinking what could have been at least their first race. P5 from Turbulent, he was able to keep his nose clean for the most part, and a very good strategy against Sato to be able to overcut and keep that Japanese driver behind. The first of the Japanese drivers, Sato in 6 and Ballista in 7s, not the showing that Yakitori wanted, and that's going to harm both their championship challenge.
Yep. Well,
Blake
I
Button
think in
P8
terms of...
Lake Button PA is the last finisher. In P9 is Rohei. He wasn't able to complete all laps, but he will still get points, and I believe will qualify for reverse grid pole. And in P10 is Josh, who was only able to complete 8 laps, and of course had that retirement just spinning in front of Miko.
Are we ready, guys? 15 more laps.
15
Oh, and it appears-
laps of fun.
Oh.
Yeah, 15 more
Let's-
laps, and it appears as though Lake Button is actually on pole, so I don't think Rohei finished, unfortunately. So
but
he's not going to be in
I think
position.
I think he'll still get championship points considering how many laps he completed. But
Oh wait,
guys,
what the fuck? I missed them.
All the way up there. It's a long straight.
Sorry. Why are they? Why are they two starting posts? What the hell? Okay,
let's not forget, guys, the last time we had race 2, Alessia Siri went from 10th to 1st in half a lap or 3/4 of the lap. Will we see something similar? Ballista's in P2? Interesting.
What?
Alright, race 2 here. Here we go. Here the V6 is revving.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights here for race 2 here at Fuji. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start there from Ballista and Lakebond as well. They're both going to go side by side into turn 1. And hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a reverse good race. It's turn 1 and it's Fuji here. Will everyone get through cleanly?
Oh, Ballista absolutely flipped down the inside.
It looks as though Rohe has gone wide there, so he's going to fall back quite considerably. He's in P10 at the moment, just behind. But all the drivers trying to find their
so
openings to come back.
close.
All seem to be lined aside for the most part. Go through Coca-Cola corner for the first time, now through 100R, and it seems as though Lakebone is able to just streak away a little bit from the rest of the drivers, but he's got Ballista for company right behind him. Tobin P3, followed by Sato in P4. G dropping down the order. G dropping down the order quite
Oh,
considerably.
Ballista is going wide.
He is
Ballista-
trying so hard right now.
Ballista's gone wide, and he's going to have Tobe for company. Maybe not quite Tobe, actually, he has his own demons he has to deal with. He's dealing with both Sato and Miko at the moment. And Sato and Tobe made contact, unfortunately.
Yep, they have. And we see Alessia Siri just biding his time into P6. Very, very. We see Sato probably sending it down the inside. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's made that move.
Who's gone wide? Was it Josh Mitchell?
Josh Mitchell again, so...
Oh my god, almighty set by G!
G making a battle here against the Japanese driver. Alessia Siri trying to make some sort of
He's
battle here
fighting back
against
once again and hits hard! Roe hits G!
Dramatic contact.
Yeah, Rohe, I think Rohe and G came together there, so
They did.
unfortunate there.
That's quite
And
unfortunate.
let's have a look here. Sato probably going for a move here on Tobolo. Alessia Siri just under just under a second from Skibby, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Ballista, though, not gaining on late fun, but he has to get in first place to have any chance of keeping this championship alive. After this race, let's not forget, there's only 3 rounds left.
Like both sides actually finally pull a gap against Ballista. 1.2 seconds is the gap here. They seem to be stabilizing a bit, and I believe that is because Miko is harassing the Japanese driver.
Speaking of Miko, he's in 3rd place.
Yeah,
Can we have a
Miko
look at that
and
battle,
Scoop
please?
have
Can we
made-
have a look at that battle, please? It looks very good. That battle for P2, there's a bit of a train of 3 Sato going down the inside of Polo. But yeah, look at this.
Like, I think he's made a mistake actually.
He might have.
Yeah, he has.
might get a comeback down the Dunlop corner.
He's gonna go for a move.
Almighty dive bomb, but no!
And he's completely missed it, and Lake Bun has had to take avoiding action.
Oh my god!
Oh! What's
Oh,
happening?
Lake Bun and Ballista, I think, got collided there. And so
But
that's
that's
Scoob
nice.
into P1 and Stewie into P2.
Oh my god! How the tables have
But-
turned.
What happened there?
I think Miko missed his breaking point or something because he just
yeah,
shot
he did.
across.
Yeah, he missed his breaking point, but what happened after that? Because there was another pileup while Miko was already down on the outside. I'll have a look into that for an unsafe rejoin after the race, but yeah, there seems to be a secondary incident after that as well. Now, Alessia Siri is going to be sizing up an overtake here on Scooby, so let's go on board with the Italian driver to see what sort of pace he has. Let's not forget,
He's gaining considerably here. Will he make a move into turn 1 already? He's sizing up the move in the Indonesian driver. He's going to go for a good dive. Will he be able to get it stopped? Oh, not quite. So
Oh,
they're
he's
going to
doing
get
the
the cutback
crisscross.
from Scoob. Scoob's going to get that cutback. He's going to have a nose outside, and it's going to be really who has the braver line going into this corner. Will
Deja
Scoob
vu once all over again.
No, he doesn't. Both drivers give each other just enough room. Scoob's going to go off a little bit there, but he's going to be able to make the position. He did have his nose out in front on the point of turn in, so I think that's all kosher for the most part. He's going to keep P1 at least for the meantime.
Yep.
Ballista has the best seat in the house for the fight
No,
for the first
I
place.
guarantee you, as good as the seat he has right now, he'd rather be up there in first place.
Exactly.
You know.
But he's not going to be able to get up there quite soon enough. He's going to have Miko for company. Miko going for a half-hearted attempt here into Dunlop corner now. Not really making anything of it stick, and looks like he's going to actually be losing a little bit of time against
Can we
Ballista.
go on board with Alessia Siri? We're going to have a good battle here.
Yep, Alessio. Oh, he's gotten a bit of a poison there actually. He's starting to lose time
Yeah.
against Scoob.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Let's not
entered the
forget, guys.
4-wheel drift.
Yeah, guys, let's not forget, right? From race 1, Scooby seemed to have as good a pace as the series before that mistake. So it's going to be very interesting to see now with those two out in front, but with their positions reversed, how it all pans out over the next 13 laps, 12 laps after this.
Series going to have the DRS here, but Dad's be close enough to make some sort of move. In the meantime, he's probably just going to be sitting nice and tidy. He's gaining as Mika makes the move for Ballista for P3 already.
I cannot remember the last time Ballista was this far off the pace.
Mika
Was there any?
1:09.5.
I mean, he's been off the pace compared to Alessio Suri the past few races, but I can't remember the last time Scooby, Lake Bun, Mika, well not Lake Bun, probably Mika arguably as well.
Scooby made a mistake, went wide.
Scooby once again at 100R, the first part of that 100R, just being a bit over eager there. He did it the previous lap as well when he ran wide. So, yeah, you can see
Italian smells Indonesian blood in the water at the moment. He's going to try and size up some sort of move here as we go through 300R now.
Yep, he's not going to be close enough into the final sector, but if he can close in, let's not forget
That's a bit too close. That's a bit too close.
That's a bit ambitious there from the Italian driver.
He gained time out of it though. He gained time with that braking move. Wow.
Miko is gaining though, and it seems though Alessio is compromising his line and his pace here to try and make some sort of move against Scoob, but it isn't working at the moment. Not quite having to.
To see him trying to keep that car in a straight line with the setup he has.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness me!
That was audacious from the Italian driver.
Sato is falling down the order!
Sato is backwards?
Oh, he is as well. Wow.
I'm not quite.
Let's go with the Alessio series. Is he sizing up a move here? We'll have a look at that after.
Too far away!
You never know. You never know.
He's gaining.
He can go for a dive.
He might go for a dive as well. Might as well now.
He does go for the dive.
And he made it stop.
But deja vu again. And Scoob will get the front.
But they're gonna be side by side once again.
Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Scoob gets ahead. And Miko is right involved here.
Miko is like, yep, nope. I want to make this a three-way battle, guys. Yep, he's in the battle as well. As we see Alessio Suri in a
very defensive from the Italian driver.
He's gone for a dive that hasn't worked out, and now the Filipino is right behind him.
Yeah, he is. Miko's gonna try going around the outside. Remember,
here comes the Pinoy Pride down the Dunlop corner.
Into Dunlop corner. Oh, it doesn't seem to even get any advantage in the braking zone. But Alessio's all cut up here, and Miko's going to get a slightly better run on the Italian driver. And it seems the Scooby getting a little bit of a gap.
It's quite, it's really strange to see how Ballista's not been able to capitalize on this.
That is true.
He's actually losing touch. These guys are compromising their line so much, and Ballista's still 2 seconds off this battle here. Incredible.
Yeah,
super wide entry from Scooby.
Nah, guys, he's trying to dummy. He's trying to throw Scooby off with those moves. We call them dummies. He's trying his best to try dummies, but Scooby so far is falling from none of them. You can see Scooby's not falling for any of them. Even at turn 1, he's welcoming Alessio Suri to go down the inside. And each time Alessio Suri's trying to go down the inside, just
Alessio's going to make another move here, I think.
You might
here we go, he pulled down the inside! Oh!
Oh, Scoob has to give him the move, but it seems to Alessio. Alessio able to make the move.
Once again, side by side!
Oh my god, hold your breath, this time it's reversed, this time Scooby's gonna be the one
of the move.
Oh, he pushes Alessio wide!
Alessio in the inside, into 100R, and it goes 3 wide momentarily.
It's a three-way battle indeed!
Let's go!
Scoob goes wide and gets it.
He's compromising the line, everybody's line. It's a three-way battle indeed.
And Scoob's going to have Alessio on his left, and he's going to have Miko right behind him. He's completely
the only way to go is forward. Too wide to go for 3 wide.
I think 2 wide, but Alessio tucks back in, then back out of the slipstream, taking the racing line. Scoob goes defensive, but he's able to keep his hockey. Yes, very good driving. But Alessio managed to get through.
Oh my goodness me!
Side by side, coming out of Dunlop corner. Alessio go round the outside through this off-camera corner. Will he be able to make the stick, at least in the moment time? Going through nets now, and it seems that Alessio is finally able to make the move. Scoob goes wide, and Miko goes into P2.
Wow, that's the first time we've seen Alessio Suri being tested wheel to wheel. Incredible driving.
That is true, but Miko is
no longer going to have
so close.
Alessio's not going to have the DRS here. He's not going to have the DRS, but Miko will, and he will at the slipstream. Will Miko get his one opportunity here against the Italian? Will he be able to make a statement? He's been a great showing from the Filipino driver. Will he be able to make it again? He's gaining. He's gaining. Miko goes. Sorry, Alessio goes to the left-hand side. Miko goes to the right-hand side. He'll go into P1 at least for the moment, and Alessio, while making the move on Scoop, is still in P2.
Oh, he's going for it!
Alessio going for a half-hearted dive. Miko having to take a avoidatory action, give him the space, but it seems that he's going to keep it line of sight for the meantime.
Incredible racing. Wow.
We're already on lap 7.
Yeah, this race is flying by, isn't it? As you see, Alessio Siri's gone wide there.
Oh, Alessio getting it a little bit wrong, and Scoop gaining on him as a result.
Yeah, Alessio Siri was throwing incredible dummies to throw Scooby off guard, but Scooby was having none of it. You see him trying
Alessio again.
He's trying to throw leg gun off. But so far, none of those moves seem to be working. At least they didn't seem to work against Scooby. Will they work against Miko?
Hold on to your seat, boys. Here we go.
Yes.
Not quite, no.
Scooby's closing in. Scooby's closing in. So before Alessio Siri can worry about Miko, he doesn't have to look in his rearview mirror, because that Indonesian driver is getting ever closer to the Italian.
He's
Oh, and
gaining
he's
right
getting
behind
a bit
him.
wide.
The Scoop is
Who do you
riding
guys-
the coattails of the Italian.
Who
And
do you
also,
guys
it
back?
is
Oh
a bit
no,
short by
once
him.
again,
Oh,
he
it's
goes
wide.
wide.
He goes wide.
Oh my god, Alessio Siri and his dummies. This is great. This
Again.
This is like
Miko
a
already trying to break
from
through. Really
Alonso.
go to the
It's
pit
going
here.
opposite from
Yeah,
Miko.
yes.
Does, yes, and that could be wise,
Yeah.
honestly, because that doesn't give slipstream to Alessio, but Scoop will have the DRS.
But Scooby
No,
will
Scoop's gone in.
Scooby. Yeah, Scoop's gone in as well. So they're both going for the undercut. So Alessio Siri will be going for the overcut. He's got to have a lighter fuel load. Does anybody know what tire he's on? I can't tell.
I can give
Hard,
you the
wow.
information. Hold on.
It's hard, yeah.
It's on the
So,
hard.
He's on the hards. Wow.
Miko is on the hards as well, but Scoop is on the mediums.
How's Ballista 6 seconds off the pace? I'm sorry. For a driver as fast as him and so much pace as him, wow. I thought he'd be capitalizing on that a lot more, but
Meanwhile, Link
anyways.
is going to try and make a move here on Tobe for current P3.
Ooh.
Going a little bit wide there.
Yeah.
Not quite getting the pace that he wanted. And the Indonesian driver falling back a little bit from the Norwegian and going through 100R into the hairpin now, getting a lot of closing speed actually from the Superior car against the Kamekame, and he's going to try and make some sort of move here going through 300R towards the Dunlop chicane, Dunlop hairpin, sorry.
Lake Bun might as well. Not quite. Not quite close enough.
Quite getting out of it.
Oh!
He's right behind the Japanese citizenry and the Norwegian nationality. He's getting all squirrely coming out of the exit
Ooh.
there, and his line's
That's
very
not gonna look good
compromised.
for him.
That's going to
No, it is
compromise
not.
his exit. Yep. You can see how much time is leaking.
And Alessio, I
Too
think Alessio's
Another
coming into the
compromised
pits.
line.
Alessio's
Yep.
going to the pit, so it'll be interesting to
Let's
see
keep
how.
it. Yeah, let's see. Let's not forget. Miko, Josh Mitchell's 7 seconds behind. Sorry, Miko's 7 seconds behind Josh Mitchell. So Josh Mitchell will not be getting in the way. So it'll be very interesting to see where Alessio Siri filters out. But
So
let's
Miko's
once
coming
again
to the
takes the
final corner
lead.
at the moment, so
For the
it's
first
good.
time ever, Ballista is now leading the race.
Pretty sure he led the last race as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Already?
did, at one point,
Yeah.
between the pit stops.
Yeah.
So
here we
Siri
go.
is
So the
still in
second
pits.
time. Correct.
Siri
Let's
is
go on
definitely
board.
out now.
Let's go on board with Alessio Siri. Let's go on board with Alessio Siri. Where is he going to filter out in relation to?
Miko's going past, so is Scoop.
Oh wow!
There goes Miko,
There goes Miko.
and there goes Scoop.
And the
And Scoopy's making the move!
What the? Scoop has made an audacious move there.
Woo,
Has
woo,
quite
woo,
well.
yes.
Miko was saying, yeah, that's not happening, mate. He'll take the P3 and then P1.
It seems like overtake into turn 1 is not on today, which is very surprising because he's just getting crisscrossed. Almost getting crisscrossed into turn 1.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody, including Sirius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alessio Siri as well. So Alessio
Scoop
Siri
here
somehow
really
lost
pushing.
about 2 to 3 seconds. Yeah, Alessio Siri's lost about 2 to 3 seconds there. To the two guys that undercut him. Does anybody know what tires these three are on now?
Miko is on the hards, Alessio is on the hards, Scoop is on the mediums.
Wow. Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see how can Scooby manage those mediums once again to the end of the race. At the last, did it feel like he was dropping off the pace towards the back end of that stint?
No, I
It did
wouldn't say
feel
so.
like. No, you don't think so? Okay, it's going to be interesting to see now with a lighter fuel load. Obviously, the tire wear will be quite a lot better as well. So can Scooby use those medium tires to his advantage and snatch an unlikely an unlikely race win here as well? These reverse grid races have been fun every round of the season, but this one to be the best so far, surely.
Yeah, this one takes the cake out of them, all of them.
It'll be interesting
Yeah.
to see how both Miko and Scoop react with Alessio bearing down
Here
on
we go.
the one hand.
Scoopy's
To say they should work
sizing up
together.
a move.
One half
If I
of Miko
was
said
there-
they should be working together, but the other half saying, I want that P1 and Scoop's like
I
for the
would-
latter.
I would say these two should work together to break Alessia's slipstream with the DRS. Because Alessia Siri at the moment is not in the DRS race.
Oh,
Scoop
Make
made
a
it
bit of
done.
a gap.
held up there by Scoop.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, these
Alessia.
two... Alessia Siri is
Oh!
not gaining on
He
these
entered the
two.
four-wheel
No,
drift.
stopping. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Really pushing the car and then some. And it seems that Alessio is dropping off quite significantly.
Yeah,
actually.
2.6 now from the gap between Nico and Siri.
Like I said, these two should work together, use the DRS on alternative turns every lap, and then on the last lap they should just go for it.
Yep.
If they keep inviting Alessia Siri into this battle, I have no doubt in my mind Alessia Siri will find a way past these two, with the way these two are battling. So
And it
it'll be
seems that
interesting to
Miko's
see.
holding station, at least in the meantime at the moment.
Oh, he's right up
Yeah.
there in the gearbox.
He is
So
right
he very-
behind Scoop though.
Yep, this is all down to racecraft now. How these two manage to work together potentially to probably give themselves a better chance at winning this race. Because right now these two have a 50-50% chance of winning the race, but Alessia Siri during the battle, that 50-50 chance becomes a 1/3 chance. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack it.
Alessio gains a significant amount of the hairpin
Yeah,
actually.
from
Now down to
2.6 to
1.9.
down to 1.
Let's not forget, he's been incredible for the last sector all weekend.
He does a DRS, surprisingly. So
He's closing in
Siri-
now.
Siri gets DRS, but at the same time Miko does as well. He'll make the move on Scoop quite cleanly as well. Scoop not going to fight that. Quite wise there from the
It does seem like these two have realized what I've said, and these two are working in a tandem. Oh, is that Alessia Siri going wide?
Yeah,
Oh,
Alessio
no.
went a little bit wide
Just-
there for
just-
a moment.
Just a bit of a lock, I guess.
Yeah,
Down
just a
to
bit of a
0.1
lock.
second.
It
Yeah.
looked so much more dramatic than what
The
it was.
camera, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it's for the camera placement.
yeah.
And of course,
no.
Ballista is yet to stop actually. So he could be somewhat involved in this depending on how the gap forms.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think Miko and Scooby are leaking as much time as they were before, because I think they've realized the DRS game right about now. So they're not. If you look at the gap, 14 seconds, it's not as much. So I think they will still rejoin comfortably ahead of Ballista. When was the last time we said that on a race broadcast?
Mm.
How we ever did. Oh, good sliding
Nope,
for
I don't
Scooby
think-
once again.
Yep,
Lisa,
Scoop
you-
having
look
those
at
medium cars. Oh, Scoop's on wide and leaves a little
Compromises
bit there.
the line once again in
He's
sector
wi-
3.
he's made that same mistake at least 5 times this whole race weekend. Just going wide and beaching himself over the curb. And Alessia Series now within a
Right behind.
second.
Yep.
Wow.
Right there, the gap pretty equal between Miko, Scoob, and Siri, about 1.1 seconds, give or take.
Is Ballista even gonna box in this race?
I wonder if he's trying to go for like a full, like no stop race.
Nice.
It's, you can do it by the rules, but like you'd be very difficult on fuel.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would be
I-
lifting quite a lot.
is he trying to do something? I think he's trying to do. Is he trying to wait till the last lap? Is this pit box before the start-finish line? I wonder.
Oh, I wonder. I don't actually know. He could be doing that.
Oh wow! If that's something,
Shades of Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to mention it as well.
is this pit box behind the start-finish line?
It's possible. He could be doing a bit of a cheeky ploy here, and there's nothing in the rule book that says he can't do that. It's just you have to read it to the end.
absolutely. I'm the race director. There's nothing in the rules that says he can't. I wonder if he's trying to do that.
Interesting
Wow.
scenes there, Ballista pulling out all the strategic stops to try and get a home win.
It's going to be quite funny if we're discussing all this and he pulls into the pits right about now. It's
It
going
would
to
be
be
very funny,
hilarious.
yes. I'm looking at his
The way-
POV at the
and
moment.
I mean, regardless, even if he doesn't do that, we've got an incredible battle here for the win regardless.
Yeah, he's pulling in now.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, so Ballista will go into the box, and as Miko and Scoob and Siri round through the hairpin to start lap 13, I will assume
has closed down the gap as well.
Yeah, he has.
he has,
Yep.
yep, so he's within firm DRS range at the moment.
If you're Miko and Scooby, now with 3 laps to go, surely now it's every man for himself, right?
It might
How
be
do
at this
you-
rate.
Yeah. So now, how are you gonna do it?
Oh, wow!
Is he going for a defensive move?
As
No, he's
Scoob-
not. He's
what?
clearly not.
As Miko,
Wow.
yeah, Scoob trying to go around the outside here against
Wait,
Miko.
hold on.
I think
Scoob
all the
is-
gloves are off here.
Alessia
Scooby
Siri has
did-
not had the pace this second stint, as we see Scooby once again.
Oh
my
Second
God,
in
they're not
even
behind,
an
inch.
what's that?
Very
Oh,
close
and
between
Alessia
Miko
Siri,
and Scoob.
as my colleague likes to say, smelling blood. He's closing
Oh
in.
my
And he's
goodness,
there, he's got
Scooby!
moved. Oh, there's contact!
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
there is.
goodness
And
was an
me!
Alessio at a very
So
audacious move.
audacious!
Yep. Wow.
I believe it's
And
an
the
accident.
Italian with
Yeah.
an absolute dive bomb that hasn't gone very well. I wonder if he has damage there, as has Miko. Both able to keep the car facing the right way on all 4 tires. But that's not looking good for Alessio, and I wonder if he's getting desperate.
No, I believe
Yeah, he
it's
is.
an
He wants.
accident.
This is the first time you have to remember he potentially is not winning a league race in our league. So
Yeah.
he wants to keep that win streak going, but all good things come to an end. And with the way things are at the moment, it seems like his magnificent win streak, 100% in every race he's entered. Let's not forget he didn't start the first 2 races, it's coming to an end. But however, obviously I will have a look into that post race. But so far, it's every man for himself still.
And with the possible penalty looming over the Italian's head, now many more questions are going to be asked.
You said
about
that,
how
not
this-
me.
Many more
You
questions
said
are going to be asked. Possible penalty, I didn't say possible. Many questions are going to be asked as to how this podium is going to shape up and who is going to take this race victory. Seems as though Scoop's
gonna
able to
take
get a little bit of a gap there on
Oh
Miko.
my God.
And Alessio again falling back, but he's right there. Is he going to make a move? No, he doesn't. Miko electing to just wait a little longer to go through Coca-Cola corner for the second to last time this race.
You might as well just wait until the last sector.
You may have to. It's
Yeah.
likely to get the penalty for illegal DRS usage. That's unfortunate.
Miko is going to be in the box seat, I think, win this race.
It's going to be interesting to see.
If this is how it turns out, it's going to be interesting because by the looks of it, Miko should be in the lead at turn 1. Will
Yep.
Scooby have enough of a straightaway on the final lap to potentially go for an overtake and have a side-by-side for the
All
Also,
on
Scooby-
turn, going through Dunlop, but Siri
Yeah.
is right behind Miko.
Might
Oh,
as
this is
well,
gonna
might
be
as
good.
well.
Will the two come together? Will all 3 come together and Melissa somehow have a whole win? We don't know, but we're going to find out
But
very
Miko,
Oh, Miko's gonna
Miko
wide.
takes a
Decent.
lot of compromise to his line.
Takes a lot of curb there, and that's going to open up the opportunity for Siri, and he's right behind the Filipino driver
Oh
as we
my
start
God.
the final lap of the race here. And ladies and gentlemen, cast your bets, pick your driver. It's anyone's race.
Yep, Alessio Siri will have DRS. Let's not forget, he's going to have DRS on Scooby as well. Scooby will not have DRS, so it's crucial Alessio Siri does not mess about here. But Mika's still going to be down the inside.
Oh
Even
my
the-
God, there's a heat.
Miko
There
takes the
was
move.
contact.
There's a little bit of contact. Alessio goes wide. Miko getting his nose involved there. He's going to be just ahead going through Coca-Cola corner, but Alessio's going to have the inside line. Scoob going to see this battle in his mirrors, and he's going to be looking at this gleefully. Alessio makes the move through Coca-Cola corner, and there's only 3/4 of a lap left to make the move for P1.
Yep, will he get there is the question. Scooby seems to have the pace. As we see
Alessio, another
once again.
audacious dive there, but we know he's weak on the exit here, and Miko's going to be trying to get that slipstream on the Italian driver. Will he make a move for Dunlop? If it's going to be any point during this race, it's going to be now. Miko gaining. Is he going to make the move on the Italian? No, he isn't. And we
Not
enter
quite.
the final section now, and the Scoob, Alessio, and Miko
Oh, no.
nose to tail.
Let's not forget, Alessio Siri is incredibly quick for this final sector. Can he close in on the Indonesian, or does he have damage? Will that happen to him?
Will he make a move in towards the hairpin? He has been known to try and make that move, and if it's going to make the move, he's going to make it now. One corner left here.
Now
Is
it's
he
the
gonna
time for
try and
Alessio
make the
Siri.
move? He
Makes
goes
the move
for
down the
dive.
inside.
Contact between the two drivers. Oh my goodness!
It's
and
a
he
drag
makes
race.
the
Oh no,
move.
Miko gets squarely out the last corner.
And
What's
Alessio
going-
has
what's going-
gained that position, and I don't think he's going to be allowed to keep that.
And
That was a bit dirty. But it's side by side here, and they're gaining, and it's anyone's face
Oh
here.
my
Let's
goodness
just-
me,
okay.
no!
Wow! The scoop goes round across the line.
A
Wow.
controversial win for Alessio Siri.
Alessio
gonna
will
be-
win on track, but I don't think he's going to win on paper, because that looked pretty shady from the
Yes,
Italian driver.
pretty much.
That's the first time we've seen Alessio Siri elbows out. That was great to see, though.
That
Regardless,
was great to see. It was awesome to see.
He
I
hit
have
the
no
match was
words,
definitely-
and I have no voice at all.
Miko
Guys,
finished in third, Ballisto in fourth, Tobin fifth, Sato in sixth, Rohei seventh, Slickburn eighth.
There's somebody spinning on the background there.
Oh. How
Gio
is...
finished ninth, and Joshua Randall the top 10.
Oh my!
Wow.
Look at Josh Mitchell.
That's the best. I am so glad I didn't miss this race. That was incredible.
That was incredible. I was shouting all over the mic.
Wow.
Sorry about that, guys. If that was deafening.
Oh, Lord. I forgot how to commentate those last few laps because I was just like a fan watching that race. That was incredible. But yeah, we've got a bit of investigating to do. So,
We have a ton
Yep.
of investigating.
so me and Garlic, we're going to be quite busy.
Yes, we are.
Might as well, guys.
Okay, because the thing is, right, when you have to think about this in a logical way, when it's for a win, you want to treat every position as fairly as possible. When it's for a win, it's even more hard. It's even harder because it's a win. Like all the drivers race to win. Sure, there's P2, P3, P4, but yeah, there's going to be quite an investigation, I think. Because let's not forget, I think there was another dodgy dive bomb from Alessia Series before as well.
There was,
previous,
yes.
on
With Miko,
on
and he caused
Miko.
contact there.
Yeah, so those are the two incidents we have to look into. So
I guess time to end it now.
That was
great.
an incredible race, and what a way to come back from round 5 after
Yep.
the week break that we had.
Hashtag Artito summer break.
Uh,
And so,
anyways,
another round is done for season 4 of the Artito Racing.
Isn't that a lovely view
Championship.
from the hot air balloon?
Right in the balloon.
Yep,
No balloon in the way.
it's moving. They're definitely not static, but yeah, look at the
But,
circuit.
yep. Incredible racing here at Fuji, yet again providing
Yeah.
exciting racing.
I hope my
all
neighbors
around.
don't
Yeah.
get startled from all the shooting that I did.
And so,
Yeah.
while Alessio has won it on the track, you will have to wait until next week for the final results to be broadcasted. And it is a question as to whether Scoob will get his first win here in the league and Alessio will finally be dethroned on track. Join us next week where we'll be going for round 6 at the Red Bull Ring, and we will see whether Alessio is going to be penalized and sent down into at very least P2, maybe even P3, depending on how the penalties fall.
Yep. Thanks for
Cool.
joining, guys.
Yep, I've been Kindred Garlic. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.
See you. Bye bye.